Rebounding. What's going to be important to have success today?
Toughness. The tougher team will win. And, we got to come out and, we got to bring the fight to them. We can't let them hit us in the mouth first. And really, if we just, play Cougar basketball, we'll be fine.
That's Houston's Emmanuel Sharp. Good luck today against Tennessee.
Thank you.
All right, Robbie, thank you so much. Emmanuel Sharp joined the Houston program December of 2021, so he was not on the team that made the Final Four in the bubble in Indianapolis. He has been on the team, a big part of it, that is a 1 seed for a third straight year. On the other side is a Rick Barnes squad that was in this position last year. They were the 2 seed, and it was an unbelievable game in Detroit against Purdue, but they fell short. Rick Barnes is back in the same spot against a different opponent. He's with Kevin Kugler.
When you look at this road that this team has taken to get to this point, what's been the biggest differentiating factor for this group?
Well, I think some of it obviously has to do with that we've had some guys that have gone through the tournament, and, when you got senior leadership and Zakai Ziegler, Jemai Meshack, and Jordan Gainey came in a year ago, and what he learned playing through this tournament last year, I think, really spoke volumes. And then we go back, and they made up their mind when they left here after we got beat a year ago by Purdue that they wanted to try to do it again. And they really, as a team, they worked hard trying to get the younger guys up to where they need to be, our new guys coming in. And so you got to really give the credit to the players. I think that they have been focused. They've done the job helping these other guys that have going through it for the first time to somewhat try to stay settled. Knowing that just getting here would be hard, but then just winning a game is hard, but just continuing to one game at a time approach.
We're talking with Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes ahead of the matchup with the Houston Cougars. I know you've known Coach Sampson for a very, very long time. What has it been like to grow up, really, in the game with a contemporary like Coach Sampson?
Well, first of all, I love Kelvin Sampson. We grew up different parts of the state. He's an Eastern North Carolina guy. I'm a Western North Carolina guy. But back in the day when we played NAIA basketball, there were no rules. We'd start practice the first day of the school, it seemed like, and within 6 weeks, 4 different colleges would get together, and we'd play Friday night all day, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday. And it was just a somewhat of a tight-knit family. And then when I was at Clemson, he invited me out to come do a clinic, I think, for the Oklahoma coaches, and I stayed at his house that night. And just from that time, he and I have had a wonderful relationship, and we talk. And then obviously competing against him for, I think, 9-10 years when he was there, that's a major, bitter rivalry. But it never got in the way of our friendship. I love him to death. And again, we've kind of really, truly grown up together. We've grown old now. We both have grandkids, and I truly love him.
To get this team to the Final Four, though, you've got to get past a great friend in Coach Sampson. What do you see in his program, and how do you get a win here today?
Toughness, physicality, extremely well coached. He has always done a great job getting his guys the shots that he wants. They do a great job turning people over with their ball screen coverage, do a great job turning people over if you put it in the post. Everybody talks about their rebounding, their toughness, all that, and from the time you walk out there, you're going to have to be ready to go because it's going to be a hard-fought physical game.
Coach, good luck.
All right, thanks.
Rick Barnes, more than 830 wins. He will be 71 this summer. Kelvin Sampson will be 70 coming up in October. And these two guys and these two teams, so good this year, and one of them is going to go home. Nick, what are you looking at for this ball game?
I'm looking at 2 things. The first thing that'll be interesting to watch is Houston likes to trap the post. One of the things you leave yourself vulnerable for if you trap the post is open threes on the weak side. If Tennessee can find a way to get Lanier to be on the weak side for those post traps, I think you could see some open jump shots from him, just like you saw from Fletcher Lawyer against Purdue, who had a big first half. The other thing, Jason, I think how this game's officiated is going to be very important. Both these teams, incredibly physical, incredibly aggressive. So the free throw line and who shoots it better from the free throw line could be extremely important as well.
Yeah, no question about that. We'll tip this thing off here in about 6 minutes. Don't forget, though, that Westwood One is also your home for the women's tournament. The first of the 4 Elite 8 games is coming out of the halftime. South Carolina, who's trying to get to a Final Four again, has a 4-point lead on Duke. It's a low-scoring affair. Both teams have been struggling with turnovers, 26-22. You can listen to that streaming live for free on the Westwood One Sports app. And then coming up just after 3 Eastern, it is UCLA and LSU. But coming up when we come back, it is Houston, it is Tennessee, and one of those two teams is going to join top seed Duke and top seed Florida in the Final Four in San Antonio. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you're new here, basketball fans, welcome. Thanks for becoming an insider and hitting that subscribe button. Turning on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single game of March Madness. We did 53 games in 4 days, raising money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto as part of our Bracket Mania campaign. Just by being here, you're making a difference. And with that, I ask you to please continue making that awesome difference by sharing this link out and getting it out to the world. The more people that click on the link that you share, the more YouTube will find more and more basketball fans from all over the world to come hang out with us. Thank you for doing that. We'll see you back in the chat, and go Gators!
Final Four is on the line. Top two seeds in the Midwest. Let's get it going. Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel inside Lucas Oil Stadium, guys.
Certainly not a partisan crowd one way or the other today. I would say there's more orange in this building, but there's a nice Houston contingent across the way as we get set for basketball between the number 1 and 2 seeds in the Midwest region. And Robbie, when you look at this game, we've talked about it for the last couple of days, defense and guard play.
Very similar philosophies between two head coaches that are terrific friends. Rick Barnes, Kelvin Sampson, their teams pride themselves on playing hard, on playing great defense, and then you look at their teams, there's some fantastic guards on the floor this afternoon.
Well, it's time for the keys to the game, sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, Robbie, let's start with Tennessee. What do you see for the Vols?
Well, the first key is going to be the same for Tennessee and Houston. That's the rebounding battle. It's the turnover battle. It's going to be essential to see who gets the most attempts from the field this afternoon. On top of that, when you're playing Houston's guards, you've got to guard the ball. You've got to keep it in front of you. It's a lot of individual play, a lot of isolation, a lot of simple action, and then let those guys go. And then for Tennessee, it was the case in the win against Kentucky on Friday. Zakai Ziegler, Chaz Lanier, Jordan Gainey. Those three guys have got to have it going today against a defense that will test them as much as any they've played this season. For Houston, I said it earlier, it's rebounding, it's turnovers, it's guarding the pin downs, though. It's not so much isolation or pick and roll. It's staying with Lanier, Ziegler, and Gainey off the basketball. You've got to lock and trail. And then these guards, Milos Uzan, LJ Cryer coming up a really tough one against Purdue, and Emmanuel Sharp. The guard play will determine who wins this game.
Cryer just 2 for 13 from the floor for 5 points against Purdue, coming off a 30-point game the game before against Gonzaga in the second round. Let's check that starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. In the backcourt, we mentioned LJ Cryer. He averages over 15 points per game. Milos Uzan on the season, 12 points per game, 4.5 assists per game. But the Oklahoma transfer in the tournament has ratcheted up 15 points per game and 69% from three-point land. Emmanuel Sharp, that third guard in the backcourt. Sharp averaging 12.5 points, 3 rebounds a game, the 6'3 junior from Tampa, Florida. Up front, JoJo Tugler, 6'8 sophomore, Monroe, Louisiana, 6 points, 6 rebounds per game. But that's not the story with him. The story with him is defense. And Jawan Roberts, the 5-man, first-team All-Big 12. He was third team a year ago. Roberts averaging 11 points, 6.5 rebounds per game. Chaz Lanier starts the lineup for Tennessee. The transfer from North Florida has been everything and more that they needed him to be. 18 points per game on the regular season for the 6'5 senior. How about 22 points per game in the NCAA tournament? Zakai Ziegler, they knew what they had there. They've got the back-to-back SEC Defensive Player of the Year, the 5'9 senior from Long Island, New York. 14 points, 7.5 assists per game. And Jemai Meshack, again, very similar to JoJo Tugler. The numbers, kind of pedestrian. 6 points, 4 rebounds a game. But it's all about defense, like with Tugler, for Meshack. Igor Milicic got into foul trouble, was really limited against Kentucky on Friday. 9.5 points, 7 rebounds per game. And Felix Akpara, the 6'11 junior from Ohio State, 7 points, 6.5 rebounds per game, and arguably played one of the best halves of basketball he's ever played as a collegiate basketball player in that first half against Kentucky. He had 8 points and 11 rebounds in the game. A.J. Desai, Courtney Green, Doug Sermons, your 3 referees for this one, and we are ready to get it started here in Indianapolis. Both teams getting their final instructions. Tennessee in the road uniforms for the first time. The road orange tops and bottoms. White piping with the orange tee on the sides of those white shorts piping and the white numerals on the front and back of those orange jerseys. For Houston, back in the home whites with the red trim and red numerals on front and back, getting their final instructions from Kelvin Sampson. Kelvin Sampson and Rick Barnes embracing at the beginning of the game. We heard the story yesterday of these two North Carolinians who have been friends since they were 19 years old, playing in NAIA District 26. And Rick Barnes and Kelvin Sampson, great admiration for one another. It's time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. There is high anticipation. Tennessee has never been to the Final Four. Houston has made it 6 times, but they've never won a national championship. The Vols and the Cougars ready to get this one started with a trip to San Antonio on the line. Crowd is standing all around us. Every single seat has someone standing in front of it because they are wanting to get a good look at Tugler and Akpara jumping it up at half court. Doug Sermons will walk up with the basketball, and our referee into the air with it. The tip controlled by Tennessee. They move it from our right to our left, and here we go. Zakai Ziegler will accelerate up top to Milicic. Brings it over to the right wing in Meshack. Meshack, a left-hand dribble to the middle of the floor. Meshack switching to the right hand, sizing up Uzan defensively. Skips it over to the right side. Lanier with his first touch. Elbow jumper is an air ball caught underneath by Jawan Roberts of Houston.
Well, that's that action off the basketball, but you get a good show right there from the big. You get the help jump into the basketball, and Houston gets the first stop of the game.
And Tugler will set it up on the right-hand offensive wing of the right-hand zone. Hands it off to Uzan behind. Sets the screen for Uzan, who's picked up by Milicic on the switch, middle of the floor. Dribbling between his legs around another screen from Tugler. Picked up on a switch by Lanier. Goes past Lanier. Runner from 5 feet is strong. Tip is there for JoJo Tugler. Rebounding, one of the big keys.
Well, if you get beat off the bounce and help comes over, it's going to be hard to have great rebounding position right there. That's what Houston does to you. It's Tugler, it's Roberts. Those guys live on the offensive glass.
2-0 start for the Cougars. 1 minute in here in Indianapolis. Ziegler will send it over to Lanier, and Lanier backs it out on the right-hand wing with 10 to shoot. Near the timeline, he gets tied up by Emmanuel Sharp, and the possession arrow gives it to Houston. 2 possessions, nothing doing for the Vols.
And Rick Barnes challenging Chaz Lanier, who had a good second half. 11 of his 17 came in the second half against Kentucky on Friday, but he's now shot an air ball and then just not strong with the basketball. Emmanuel Sharp ties him up.
And Uzan will bring it across from our left to our right. Setting up in the right-hand offensive zone is Uzan working against Ziegler. Akpara showing on a double, gets rid of it to Roberts. Roberts will feed it into the middle of the paint. Tugler, a running hook, banks off the window and home. And a 4-0 Houston start. Ziegler to Milicic trailing. Left-hand wing, it's Meshack. Over to the top of the key now. Ziegler looking with 19 to shoot. Curls to Lanier. Back to Ziegler. 3 on the right wing. Rims out. No good. Rebound tipped around, and it's Tugler who has it for Houston.
Well, if they're going to jump to the ball like that, Houston very aggressive. You can just swing it right back ahead and get a good look. Ziegler get one there from that top of the key. Unable to knock it down. And a tough start offensively for the Volunteers.
Tugler picks off a screen. Trailing is Lanier. The 3 up around that screen. It's off the mark. And the rebound, Akpara. He'll hand it to Meshack. He'll start it up to Ziegler. Ziegler now, little crossover, trying to get past Cryer, feeds it around Meshack, swings left corner to Lanier. Back it goes to Ziegler. Ziegler trying to penetrate, gets it down to Okpara, extended right block. He'll have to back this one out. Meshack now on the right-hand wing, backing up with 8 to shoot. Looking at Roberts, trying to drive on him. Bumps into Roberts, gets some clearance and a foul. Good aggressive take by Jemai Meshack, not known for his offensive prowess, but a good, strong effort there.
But that was the weight room right there, Kevin. I mean, he just lowers his shoulder and gets right to the body there of Juwan Roberts. Physical take, shot clock winding down, and you're playing a team like Houston. Their pressure's going to take you out of some of the actions you want to run. You've got to have some guys just put their head down, make individual plays, and put the onus on the defense at the rim.
Meshack, a 76% foul shooter, bends the knees, spins the basketball, and the first free throw attempt is up and off to the right. Kevin Kugler and Robbie Hummel here at our Granger courtside seats in Indianapolis. Winning teams know the value of a good sixth man. Count on Granger to give your business a boost off the bench. Call or click Granger.com for over 1 million industrial-grade supplies. Meshack's been in the weight room all year. Robbie and I were there last night.
We were.
Meshack's
Probably not doing Meshack's routine.
Second free throw, no good, but there was a lane violation. Getting into the paint was Juwan Roberts, and so Meshack's going to get an opportunity to cash in on an extra free throw.
That's a mental error there from Roberts. Tennessee is struggling to find anything, and the deflating nature of missing 2 foul shots. Just don't want to give him a third opportunity.
And he misses the third one, right? And then the rebound out to Meshack, gives it to Lanier. His shot blocked by Sharp. Gets it back, though, and Meshack will swing it around to Ziegler. 10 to shoot. Ziegler looking. Skips over Milicic. 5 to shoot. Nothing doing again. Meshack trying to penetrate. 1 on the shot clock. Spins the shot up in time. Floats it over the front of the iron. And a 4-2 ball game with a long possession for Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee finally cashes that in. You don't see Houston give up many opportunities like that where you get multiple chances. But the Volunteers, you can hear the crowd. They've just got to give them something to cheer about.
Roberts will set it up left block against Okpara. Trying to back him down into the paint. Turns baseline off the window. Can't get it to go. Rebound batted out by Tugler. Second chance for Houston. It ends up with Cryer. Cryer around a Tugler screen. Milicic picking him up on a switch. Now picked back up by Meshack. Feeding it over to Sharp. Entry into the right corner now. Roberts facing against Okpara. 4 to shoot. Turns. Left-hand hook in the paint. And Juwan Roberts with his first 2.
Well, Okpara's got to make him go back to his right hand. Juwan Roberts, the lefty, he wants that left jump hook, and you got to take away those second chance opportunities. JoJo Tugler as good as anybody in the country with that back tap.
Ziegler dribbling into the paint, and Roberts takes it away. Another empty possession for Tennessee, down 6-2. Here's Cryer, middle of the floor. He wants Uzan to go down low. He'll jab step back up for a 3, and it drops in the face of Milicic. And a 9-2 Houston start. 28 straight games. Cryer's hit a 3.
Well, after the way he started and played against Purdue, just 2 of 13 from the field. He hasn't had many tough ones this year. Cryer, a big-time player, making a big-time move with that crossover dribble.
Milicic will try to answer 3 on the left wing is off, and Cryer the rebound. 1 and done goes Tennessee. Cryer from left to right. Pushes the pass with one hand to Sharp on the right-hand wing. Gives it off to Roberts against Milicic. 9-2 lead for Houston. Roberts driving on Milicic. Good defense, shot short. Rebound Ziegler. He'll bring it up the floor. Ziegler top of the key. Looking for a little space against Uzan. Dribbles it off the foot of Uzan. That'll be back to Tennessee after the timeout with 20 on the shot clock. 15-19 on the game clock. And it's all Houston early in this one. 9-2 advantage for the Cougars with 15-19 to go. There's a timeout on the court. Sponsored by Rocket. Own the dream. 7-point Houston lead from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
Science is not an opinion.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks so much for hanging out with us today during our Sick Kids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign for the madness. Joe, please tell everybody in the chat more about our Sick Kids Hospital campaign.
Hey, Insiders! First and foremost, Mike and Allison want to thank you for being part of this amazing community. With March Madness in full swing, we need your help. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The TSI Bracket Mania campaign is raising money for Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. Through the Final Four, a portion of the proceeds from every single game goes directly to Sick Kids. Click the pinned link in the chat or to the description to donate. Every bit helps. Can't donate? No problem. Just share the campaign with your friends or on social media to help make a huge impact. Click the link. And holy Mackinac, let's help heal the future today.
Through Wofford, UCLA, and Kentucky. For Houston, SIU Edwardsville, then Gonzaga, and they outlasted Purdue in what was an absolute battle here on Friday night. But as Kelvin Sampson said, it was second chance points, the big deal. Outscored Purdue 20-9, second chance points, a 4-2 edge early in this one, up 9-2 over Tennessee.
Well, also, Tennessee has 2 turnovers that have led to 5 Houston points. The Volunteers offense, 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but they did receive quite the chewing out session by Rick Barnes in that timeout.
Anyone specific?
Yes, Igor Milicic.
And he starts this session on the bench. Cade Phillips out there on the floor along with Jordan Gainey now for Tennessee. Gainey with the basketball over to Ziegler. Ziegler working against L.J. Cryer, trying to find space on the baseline. He'll back it out. 4 to shoot. Skip over to Gainey. Gainey penetrates. Step back 3. Top of the key with 1 on the shot clock. It barely grazes the iron.
It did hit, though.
It did hit. So Tennessee gets the offensive board and they reset. 15 on the shot clock. Ziegler at the top. He'll launch a 3. That's off the rim. No. Tip jam try inside by Okpara, and he's fouled. It'll be Roberts who picks up the personal, and that is his second.
That's a big foul right there. Tugler battled it against Purdue, but Okpara was terrific on the offensive glass against Kentucky. Had 7 offensive rebounds. He's got 11 over the last 2 ball games. You said it in the pregame show. The first half against Kentucky is the best either you or I have seen Felix Okpara play maybe in his career.
And just for those that don't know, we saw quite a bit of Okpara
no doubt
in his first couple of years. First free throw is good. Later on, we'll select the smart coaching move of the day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Okpara, 71% free throw shooter. Already with a pair of rebounds to go with his 1 point. Second free throw for the Ohio State transfer is good. And a 9-4 Houston lead as back in comes Chaz Lanier, and Okpara will get a breather, so Tennessee going smaller.
They're going to have to rebound. Think about when Purdue went small against Houston and just got obliterated on the glass. It was a problem for them with any lineup they threw out there. But Tennessee, biggest guy on the floor right now is Cade Phillips at 6'8".
Terrence Arsenault, the 6'6 sophomore on the floor for the first time for Houston. Little pressure applied by Tennessee. They work it up through the pressure. Uzan now extended on the right-hand wing. Calls out a screen. Xavier Francis sets it. Uzan, 3, top of the key around that screen is strong, and Cade Phillips the rebound.
Boy, Tennessee very fortunate there. Miscommunication. Uzan got a great look. He was on fire against Purdue. Career-high 6 threes in that game.
Shooting 69% in the tournament from 3 entering play. Meshack will drive into the paint. Against Arsenault, backs it out to Ziegler. Ziegler hesitates. Now tries to split. Drives right side. It's spiked. Just spiked by Xavier Francis, and Houston will move it up the floor. Cryer now over to the left-hand side. Around to Francis, screen picked up by Phillips. He'll give to Sharp. A shot fake got Ziegler in the air. Sharp will drive diagonal to the rim. It won't go. And then a foul called underneath. Battling for the rebound. Looks like that's on Cade Phillips of Tennessee, and that'll be his first.
Tennessee is just totally out of sorts here. Zakai Ziegler going for that shot fake, leaving his feet on Emmanuel Sharp. Sharp gets downhill, right down that right lane line. Help came over late. He misses the layup, but then you don't block out, and Houston's going to have another chance here on the under out of bounds.
It'll be Uzan, left baseline. Phillips jumping in front of him, trying to deny. The inbound to Malik Wilson just off the bench, the 6'3" graduate who began his career at Louisiana, then went through Texas Tech to get to Houston. Uzan, middle of the floor with 10 to shoot against Phillips. Uzan stops, deep two, top of the key. That rattles off to the right side, no good. Rebound, Francis underneath, put it down, lost it for a moment, throws it away to Ziegler. Ziegler now running, he doesn't have numbers. Ziegler stops on the left wing. Here's Lanier in transition for three. That's wide right, no good. 0 for 6 of the Vols from three. Uzan will bring it up for Houston. The push over to Wilson in transition to the rim. It's Francis for a two-hand flush. 11-4 Cougars.
Well, that Tennessee defense wants to be aggressive in the pick and rolls. Here a drag screen in transition for the Cougars. If you're getting out to hard hedge, the guard swings it ahead. You got that roll from Francis. Great ball movement by the Houston offense.
And Ziegler up the floor with a left-hand dribble goes over to Gainey. Tennessee desperate for points. They haven't had a field goal in almost 4.5 minutes. Lanier will try on the right-hand side. Goes up top with 10 to shoot to Gainey. Swing around left side, Ziegler. Back to Gainey. Open three, top of the key. Dies left iron, no good. And Javier Francis, the rebound for Houston.
Right now, Houston is putting on a clinic in team defense. Jumping to the basketball, helping each other. The communication on point. Big-time start for this Cougar D.
Cryer around an Arsenault screen into the right-hand corner. And Uzan fakes the three. Spins to the right elbow. Jumper up and down for Uzan. Makes it 13-4 Houston.
He's got some real shake to him. The crossover dribble is definitely his go-to, but right there using his size, little fake spin, and just raising up right over the top of 5'9" Zakai Ziegler.
Tennessee's missed their last 6 shots. They're 1 of 10 from the floor. 8 minutes gone. They have 4 total points. Gainey driving inside, scoops it to the rim, can't get it down from the left-hand block. The rebound kicks around into the hands of Cryer for Houston. Arsenault will walk it up the floor to the left-hand wing. Now backs it out to Cryer at the logo. Cryer around an Arsenault screen with Phillips defending. He goes past Phillips all the way to the rim. Layup on the left side is good. Timeout, Tennessee. Just the 7th time this year that the Volunteers have trailed by double digits. Down 15-4 with 11:37 to play and a timeout here in the first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You know your skin is the largest organ of your body. Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the 2nd largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Spring has sprung, and so have the deals at Kohl's Spring Savings Event. I just got a comfy tee for just $7.99, a cute swimsuit for $19.99, 40% off patio furniture for my backyard, and so much more. So don't wait. These deals are too good to miss. Hurry over to Kohl's to save big on warm weather essentials during their Spring Savings Event today. Select styles. Offers on March 30th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
It's time for basketball, and right now, Uber Eats has deals on Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Get game day deals now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
You can listen to the live stream of every remaining game of both the men's and women's tournaments on the Westwood One Sports app and WestwoodOneSports.com. Sponsored by Masa Chips. Classic tortilla chips fried in 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no fake ingredients, just real crunch. Code MM30 gets you 30% off your first order at MasaChips.com. 5-0 points off turnovers. That's a trend that continues for Houston. That's been the story in most of their games this season. 10-7 in the rebounding department. But more importantly, Tennessee can't buy a bucket. 1 for 11 from the floor, Robbie Hummel. 0 of 7 from 3, and most of those threes haven't been close.
No, they have not. 10-2 point advantage for Houston as well, and the Cougars 7 of 14 from the field to start this one. I'm shocked at some of the breakdowns we're seeing from a Tennessee defense that ranks 3rd nationally in terms of defensive efficiency, but breakdowns a little bit everywhere. They've looked a little bit timid, and Houston looks more so like the team that got to play the first game and wasn't up till 4 a.m. after a knockdown, drag-out game against a Purdue team. I'm a little surprised, though, to see the way Tennessee's come out with all the experience they have. I will say this, though, Kevin. Houston's pressure, there is no question, has bothered the Volunteer half-court offense. It's thrown them out of rhythm. You think about the timing that they need with all those pin downs off the ball. We'll see if the Volunteers settle in and kind of figure that out.
Yeah, they've completely disrupted the timing as Ziegler will bring it up the floor, middle of the floor, drops it off right-hand wing to Dubar. Quick 3 launched off the bench. Dubar, just a 27% three-point shooter, and the rebound goes to Houston.
You know, he made one against Kentucky, but you could see the look on Rick Barnes' face. He did not like that shot early in the shot clock.
Emmanuel Sharp gets to 12 feet on the baseline and drops a quick jumper down, and it's 17-4 Houston. Ziegler now from right to left. Pushes the pass over to Dubar, zips it inside on Para on the right block, takes it up, crams it home, breaks an almost 4-minute scoring drought. Tennessee back with an 11.
That's the same thing we saw on the other end right there. Hard hedge on the ball, kick that thing ahead, and you can hit the roll man at the rim.
Uzan working against Ziegler right on the logo at the middle of the floor. Looking for a screen from Sharp. Uzan chased by Ziegler. Over to Sharp now. 10 to shoot. Sharp against Gainey. Got a step. Fades away from 10. It won't go. Rebound poked in the air, and there's Arsenault to grab it amongst 3 Volunteers. Houston gets a second chance. Francis sizing up Akpara, trying to back him down in the right block with the left-hand dribble. Stops, gets to the right side, a little duck under, and he lays it in. 19-6 Houston.
Akpara nowhere close on that play. Great up and under there. Javier Francis no more as a roller and a lob threat, but they're getting it done in the post.
Ziegler will kick it over to Gainey. 3 left corner. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Dubar goes from right to left. His shot won't go. Caught the bottom of the rim, and it ends up with Houston's Malik Wilson. 19-6 Cougars with the lead and the ball dominating on the defensive end. Sharp will get a breather, stands with the basketball on his hip, now dribbles middle of the floor. Left side works it over to Wilson. Wilson with 12 to shoot. Trying to find room against Lanier. Drops it behind to Arsenault, who dribbles to the right elbow. Jumper from there is strong, and a rebound cleared by Akpara. And then the ball knocked out of his hands by Wilson, who got him on the wrist. That'll be a foul on Malik Wilson. Takes us to the under 12 timeout. It comes at 9:29 remaining in this first half, and it is all the number 1 seed in the Midwest. Houston 19, Tennessee 6. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
It's time for the Coles Fact of the Game. Tennessee's Rick Barnes is looking for a return to the Final Four for the first time since guiding Texas there in 2003. The 22-year span would match Lon Kruger, who went from Florida in 1994 to Oklahoma in 2016 for the second longest gap between Final Four appearances by a head coach. DePaul's Ray Meyer went 36 years between Final Four trips. That's the fact of the game. Sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. If Rick Barnes is going to get that first trip in 22 years to the Final Four, his team, Robbie Hummel, is going to have to get things going. Right now down 19-6 and showing very little sign of life on the offensive end.
2 of 15 from the field, 0 for 9 from 3. A bit surprising to see that 60% of Tennessee's shot attempts have come from the three-point line. On the year, they do shoot a lot of shots from 3, 43%, which puts them around the 80s of college basketball, but 60, a very high number. Houston taking away a lot of what Tennessee wants to get in that mid-range. At the rim, they forced them out to the three-point line, and on the year, Tennessee just an average team by percentage at 34% from 3.
Houston's made 9 field goals in this first half. 6 of those 9 have come in the paint, a 12-4 paint advantage for the Houston Cougars. Couple that with a 6-4 edge in second chance points, and you can understand why there's a 13-point lead.
Well, and think about, Kevin, and that win against Kentucky on Friday. Tennessee had 38 points in the paint. It's been totally taken away.
They out-rebounded Kentucky by 10 in that one. Here's Dubar for Tennessee. Gives it off on a little weave to Lanier over to the right-hand wing. Back up top to Dubar. Left side now Meshack sizing up Wilson. 14 to shoot. Backs it up on the left-hand wing. Now brings the dribble middle of the floor. Finding Gainey. Gainey, back it goes inside and through the hands of Okpara out of bounds. He went up leaping for the pass from the mid-post and could not pull it in. And now Okpara hopping a little bit as he jumps up and hobbles down the floor.
That's the right idea. You know, that hard hedge. There's 2 on the ball. So Jemai Meshack, he's on the short roll. You get it to him. Now you're playing disadvantaged basketball, but it's easier said than done. JoJo Tugler is such a force down there just to make you uncomfortable. Tennessee can't take advantage.
Here's Cryer weaving through some screens, underhands it to Tugler,
what
right on the block, and Okpara throws it over the scorer's table, bouncing out of bounds with 9 to shoot for Houston.
Got to make sure if the ball is okay. That was eviscerated. Tugler going up for a little bit of a soft hook shot there. Felix Okpara had other ideas.
Here's Cryer off the inbound to Sharp, middle of the floor with 5 to shoot. The ball picked away for a moment. It goes back to Cryer in the corner for 3. That's short. Offensive rebound, Tugler. Back it goes to Cryer, left corner. Meshack on him. He gets past him. No look pass to Tugler in the paint. Back out to Arsenault. Step back 3 on the right wing. It's good. Arsenault for 3. 22-6. Houston.
That's a big shot right there for Terrence Arsenault. 33% on the year, but 1 for his last 14 from 3. Second chance opportunities, again paying off for the Cougars.
Lanier, quick jumper at the right elbow, and that drops his first 2 points after the 0 for 3 start, but still 22-8 Cougars.
We're 12 minutes into this game, and that's really the first good look that Tennessee has had off their pin down action.
We're 12 minutes in, and Tennessee has 8 points. Cryer trying to find room against Meshack. Over to Arsenault, right wing where he hit a three a moment ago. Trying to dance around against Dubar, gets to the right block, shot up, no good, batted back into play, and it ends up with Lanier. Lanier near the timeline, goes down from his backside, finds Meshack. Meshack skipping to the left corner, back to Dubar, and now back up top to Meshack. Lanier with 16 to shoot, drives down the left side of the lane, and a foul is going to be called on Emmanuel Sharp. That'll be his first, fourth on the Cougars. And a timeout on the floor with the score. Houston 22, Tennessee 8. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Spring Savings at AutoZone.
Glad to be here. I need to spring save on an oil change.
Right now, you can get an STP Extended Life Oil Filter with 5 quarts of Mobil 1 Advanced for just $35.99.
What if I need to spring save on a high mileage motor oil?
Our spring savings include Mobil 1 Advanced High Mileage.
And the oil filter?
And the oil filter. All for just $35.99. It's part of Spring Savings at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Spring has sprung, and so have the deals at Cold Spring Savings Event. I just got a comfy tee for just $7.99, a cute swimsuit for $19.99, 40% off patio furniture for my backyard, and so much more. So don't wait. These deals are too good to miss. Hurry over to Kohl's to save big.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a live game. We're on a mission to hit 100,000 insiders. And you can help us grow this amazing community of sports fans making a difference. Join the conversation, keep it classy, and we'll see you in the chat. Good luck to your team and your bracket.
Ham 2 is tied with Duke, 46 apiece, 4:52 to go. Blue Devils trying to get to their first Final Four in 19 years. 4:52. You can listen to that right now on the Westwood One Sports app. All right, that's a great finish, maybe. Right now, Nick, Bob, this isn't looking like Houston, Tennessee is going to be the game of the tournament.
No, not right now, because Houston is incredible on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, Tennessee's got 8 points in 12 and a half minutes and checking all the boxes. 8-0, points off turnovers, +6 on the glass. Tennessee needs to actually headhunt and go screen Houston. You can't casually try to screen the Cougars. They are physical on the ball and off the ball. This is a different animal you're dealing with Houston. But, man, this has been an impressive first 12 minutes of defense from Houston.
I guess on the positive, you would say, hey, we only have 8 points in 12 minutes. On the positive, you're only down 14. Let's go back to Indianapolis. Kevin Kugler and Robbie Hummel.
The one thing you and I love about Jason Horowitz, he's an optimist, a cockeyed optimist. Totally hey, you're only down 14. Houston scored on 10 of 17 possessions. Tennessee has scored on 4 of 15 possessions. It is looking kind of bleak right now for Rick Barnes' squad unless they get this ship righted in a hurry with 7:28 to go first half.
Well, Nick is totally accurate in the assessment that if you're going to run these pin down actions, you better headhunt and find bodies to screen and get guys like Chaz Lanier open. With Houston's physicality, though, that can be easier said than done. They can blow up some of those pin downs. Tennessee has found some openings with the short roll. Now, you're inviting a double team, but if you can get it out of that, you can find your shooters and find opportunities at the rim.
Ziegler has a double run at him, gets rid of it to Meshack. Meshack going to work against Wilson. Now picked up on a switch by Sharp at the top of the key. The handoff to Lanier. Lanier sizing up Wilson. 3 to shoot. Step back 3 on the left-hand side is no good. Rebound Milicic, offensive board, then the ball pops up in the air, and it's taken by Malik Wilson of Houston. Quickly up the floor to Arsenault. He'll slam on the brakes and back it up to Wilson for Logo. Wilson holding it on his left hip, dribbles it to the right-hand side. The handoff now to Arsenault on the right wing. Jab step against Meshack, backs it out now to Wilson. Wilson with 10 to shoot. Meshack defending. SEC all-defensive team for Meshack. Works it around left side to Sharp. 4 seconds on the shot clock. He'll launch a contested three. It will not go off the rim. Rebound Okpara, and Tennessee will start it up the floor. Ziegler on the run, going past Sharp. Bodies fall down behind him. He had 2 Tennessee players collide behind him. Finds Lanier. The three is short, and the rebound, Cryer. They look like bowling pins, orange bowling pins, just falling on the floor. Arsenault, 3 right wing is good. He's hit 2 from that same spot, and it's 25-8 Houston.
Honestly, he should have shot a third from the same one right there, but Tennessee not great floor balance in transition. Terrence Arsenault wide open and locked and loaded.
Here's Lanier, 3 right wing, dies on the back iron. Tennessee 0 for 11 from 3. Rebound Houston. Cryer starts it up, 3 on the right wing. Rolls off. No, Okpara with a good box out of Tugler to get the rebound.
Boy, Tennessee is fortunate. Cryer, one of the best shooters in the Big 12 Conference, got a great look right there.
Lanier, wide open 3, top of the key, barely draws iron. Rebound again for Houston, and Cryer will start it up.
How about the pace of this game on these last couple possessions? A lot of threes going up. Right now, Tennessee cannot buy a basket. 3 of 20 from the field, 0 for 12 from 3.
Goodness. They've had a couple of decent looks of late as Cryer penetrates through the hands of Tugler on the pass. Tugler tracks it down in the right corner, now backs into the paint. Left-hand hook won't go. Tip try won't go. Okpara the rebound. Ziegler will push for Tennessee. In the open court. His shot blocked by Wilson. Houston will bring it up off the block by Wilson.
Even when you think you've got an easy one, there's no easy baskets out here against the Houston Cougars.
Arsenault fading away over Okpara from 10 in the right corner. And it's 27-8 Houston, and Rick Barnes out on the elevated court calls his second timeout.
How about Terrence Arsenault? Last 2 games has not scored, only played 20 minutes, 0 for 1 from the field. He has been a beast today. 8 points, 3 of 5.
Timeout with Houston up 27-8. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold.
Cheers, insiders and basketball fans worldwide. Joe Bowen here, the Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for joining us for the SickKids Bracket Mania campaign on TSI, making a real difference in our Toronto community. From Toronto to Tokyo, Sudbury to Singapore, TSI is everywhere. Remember, a portion of every game's revenue goes directly to SickKids Hospital. Check out the live viewer map at TorontoSportsInsider.com. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's keep growing this global movement.
You heard the man. Go check the link that you see flying through the chat right now. It's also pinned in the description, and let us know where you're watching from and see where the rest of the world's watching from with us tonight. Good luck to your team.
How this looks right now, nobody playing well for the Volunteers. Their best guys, Ziegler, Meshack, Lanier, they have got to be the catalyst here for a run.
Gainey trying to get things going, penetrates mid-paint, gives it off to Ziegler. Ziegler back out to Gainey, extra pass, left corner, Meshack driving into the paint, running right-hand hook is strong, no good. Rebound scooped up by Francis. It went right through the hands of Meshack, and Houston will start it up.
How about the physicality, though, of Houston's defense? And Tennessee is one of the most physical teams in the country, but Houston looks like they're at another level right now.
LJ Cryer around a screen. 3, top of the key, on the back iron. Bounces once, bounces off the backboard. Ball loose, and somehow Arsenault gets it because Houston's getting every loose ball right now. Cryer at the top of the key. Jab step against Phillips with 12 to shoot.
He likes this matchup right here. This is going up.
Cryer on the move, gets past Phillips. 8-foot floater is good. You saw it. You knew it. It's 29-8 Houston.
But the hustle plays, the physicality. Credit Terrence Arsenault for getting in there, sticking his nose in there, and stealing a possession with the 50-50 play.
Cryer already 7 points. Remember, just 5 for Houston in the win over Purdue. Ziegler, top of the key. Feeding it to Gainey, cutting to the right elbow. Jumper good for Gainey after the 0 for 4 start. He's on the board, stops a 7-0 run. It's 29-10 Houston.
Well, it's a pin down to the right side of the floor. Honestly, Terrence Arsenault switched it out and got a good contest. Jordan Gainey needed to see one of those go in, and he got it right there.
Cryer dribbling middle of the floor, hands it to Francis, who gives it right back to Cryer. Dribbles to the free throw line, out to Arsenault, right corner 3. That's no good, and the rebound, Meshack. He got off his spot on the right wing. Ziegler accelerates to the left-hand offensive zone. Jumps a two-hand pass into the right corner to Gainey. Gainey will back out now on the right wing with 17 to shoot. Around to Ziegler's screen. Bobbing and weaving. Stops. Hands it back from Milicic. Now to Gainey. Gainey driving. Left side. Layup won't go. A whistle and a foul. Crashing in, trying to get the rebound. And they're going to take a look at this one. A timeout on the floor. Will it be a goaltend? That's what they're going to check as they go to the monitor with 2:51 to go in the first half and a 29-12 Houston lead. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
This March Madness, Wendy's has a $1 JBC or double stack with in-app offer and purchase. So we're throwing the biggest watch party in the country and giving you the best seats to watch all the action. But just so you know, the seats are in a Wendy's. And the action is just staring at the $1 JBC or double stack in front of you. Also, you can bring a +1, if it's a burger. When it's gotta be fresh, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating Wendy's. Limit 1 JBC or double stack or qualifying item per offer with additional purchase. Wendy's app account registration required.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro. 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio with the NCAA Experience official ticket and hospitality packages. Official NCAA hospitality includes live entertainment, upscale food stations and beverages, appearances by NCAA legends, and much more. To be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, visit ncaa.com/VIP. 29-12. Houston with the advantage. They went over to look to see, was it a goaltend? Called on the floor. Doug Sermons about to make the ruling, I believe, for us. Maybe. He turned the microphone on. Here we go.
Prior to the timeout, the call on the floor was goaltending against Houston. That play has been reviewed. That play stands.
All right, so a break for Tennessee and the fact that they get 2 points. We looked at the replay. I didn't see much contact.
Yeah, it looked like Javier Francis almost whiffed on the ball. We're looking at a replay again here. I still don't. Now, he does get into the bottom of the net when the ball is hanging up there, so that could have been the call. How about the role guys, though, for Houston? Terrence Arsenault with 8 points. Javier Francis with 4 points, 5 rebounds. Those guys have given Houston a boost off the bench.
Manuel Sharp with a little pressure applied by Tennessee. Will bring it across the timeline with 21 on the shot clock. Hands off to Uzan. Uzan harassed by Ziegler. Ziegler trying to get into his pocket. Uzan jumps it over to Cryer. Cryer. He's got Gainey on him like a shadow. Brings it around the screen. Top of the key. Sends it over left side to Wilson. Wilson. Working against Milicic. Goes baseline. Left to right. Off the rim. He can't get it to go. Rebound loose. Scooped up by Tennessee. Gainey will try to start it up the floor. Quickly to Lanier. Lanier driving baseline. Back out to Ziegler. Wide open three left wing. Won't go. Rebound loose. And there's Malik Wilson again. Another one of those roll guys with a rebound.
Wilson, a very good rebounder. I like Tennessee pushing the tempo. Try to score against a non-set defense. You get a great look for Ziegler there off the dribble drive, but he can't knock it down.
Wilson dribbles to the left elbow. Jumper from there won't go. And Milicic the rebound for Tennessee. Under 2 to play first half. Volunteers down 17. 0 for 14 from 3 in this first half. Lanier bumped by Sharp, and that'll be a blocking foul. Number 2 on Sharp. So 2 on Sharp, 2 on Roberts for Houston. 6th team foul. The foul on the floor means Tennessee will inbound once more. Oh, just the 5th foul, rather, against Houston. Only 1 so far against Tennessee. Gainey will inbound. Meshack will swing it around to Lanier. Lanier at the top of the key. Back it goes to Ziegler. Ziegler penetrates to the left elbow, pushes a shot up with the right hand. Akpara tried to jam it home on the miss, and he couldn't get to the ball. Francis blocking him out. Cryer will bring it up for Houston. Here's Uzan standing middle of the floor. Leg spread as he dribbles over to the right-hand side. Now around a screen from Francis. Gets to the left-hand side. Stops at the elbow. Jumper there. Good for Uzan. He wanted man 1. He'll take 2, and it's 31-12.
A tough bucket there by Uzan. Just keeping Zakai Ziegler right there on his hip and never let him square the ball up.
Lanier forcing up a jumper. Top of the key. That won't go. Francis with the rebound. Even when they thought they had a glimpse, they really didn't.
Tennessee has 12 points with a minute left in the half. This has been an insane performance by the Houston defense.
Cryer will turn the corner, dribbles to the free throw line. Jumper is good, and a foul. He floated it up 1 step beyond the free throw stripe in the mid-paint, and he dropped it home with a chance for 1 more at the line.
Well, Cryer getting it done on both ends. Great on-the-ball defense on the other one. Here, pick and roll, get to the paint, play off 2 feet, getting some contact. Tennessee has no answer for what Houston is bringing. I'm sure Rick Barnes is searching for any type of life.
33-12. I don't know that anybody saw this coming. Cryer at the free throw line. He's got 9 points, 5 rebounds. Nice bounce back for Cryer from a rough night against Purdue. Free throw is good, and it's 34-12. Tennessee will walk it up. Searching. Looking for anything as Ziegler gets to the right-hand wing. Sends it over to Gainey. Gainey top of the key. Tries to penetrate. Nothing there. Back he goes to Ziegler. 3 at the top of the key is good. And after an 0 for 14 start, Tennessee finally finds the range from 3. Timeout used by Houston. Their use it or lose it timeout with a 34-15 lead and 29.5 to play in the first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Kevin Kugler and Robbie Hummel here at our Grainger courtside seats in Indianapolis. Keep your team moving forward with Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products, Grainger can help your business get a leg up. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Tennessee is in danger of setting an NCAA tournament record. The fewest points in a first half by a top 2 seed is 16. Michigan in 2019, Miami in 2013, and Georgetown in 1984. They've got 15 right now.
Well, they're going to need more from the backcourt. It was one of the keys of the game for both these teams. Ziegler, Lanier, and Gainey have combined for 9 points, 4 of 22 from the field, 1 of 13 from 3. Ziegler shot some signs of life there, but they need way more from these guys if they're going to get back in this game.
Arsenault in the right corner, trying to penetrate down the baseline with 9 to shoot. Back out on the right wing to Uzan. Uzan with 7 on the shot clock against Meshack.
Floor to shoot as he skips it over to the left side and Cryer penetrates, left elbow jumper off the back iron, won't go. Rebound scooped up by Malik Wilson of Houston. Then he throws it down the length of the court. It goes out of bounds, but it won't matter because halftime is here, and it's the fewest points ever scored in a first half by a 2 seed in NCAA tournament history. 15 for Tennessee, and they trailed 34-15 at the break. Where do we get our clipboards? This is a clinic defensive line. Just Houston smothering the Tennessee offense. The Volunteers with no answer for the pressure, the physicality, and Houston's guards. L.J. Cryer, he is back.
There's a chance you could find a broken clipboard in the Tennessee locker room in about 5 minutes.
Seriously.
Halftime score, Houston 34, Tennessee 15. When we return, we'll head back to our Straight Talk Wireless studios for the halftime report. Need more data so you can stream your jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Santa Fe, Tucson, or Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
I used to lack confidence until I shopped for a used car with Carfax. With Carfax, I was able to
pause for the facts.
I saw all the facts, like millions of cars, reported vehicle histories, and found the best values. Thanks to Carfax, I had the confidence to shop like a pro.
Facts.
A pro car shopper who feels like a winning ping pong champion.
Facts.
A ping pong champ whose legendary story is now a blockbuster movie.
Facts.
Starring me, Little Miss Confident.
Yeah! Facts.
Sorry, you get it. Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Jason Horwitz, Nick Baugh, happy to have you back with us here in our Westwood One studios. 34-15. Houston leading Tennessee at the half. A trip to the Final Four for the 7th time in school history. 20 minutes away for Calvin Sampson's squad. You know, Nick, when you have so much chalk like we have had to get to the Elite Eight, you don't picture really any game not to be good because these have been the best 8 out of the 10 teams in the country for the better part of the year. And Tennessee could not have played any worse on the offensive end than they did the first 20 minutes.
No, and certainly Houston had a lot to do with that. It was a masterclass off the ball, fighting through screens and being physical. And when you're able to get through screens, nobody has to help. So everybody can stay home and stay locked in and stay where they need to be from a defensive positioning standpoint. So it certainly was a great job by Houston. Tennessee, 6 of 28, and most of those shots were tough contested looks from 3. And the reality is this Vols team, outside of Chaz Lanier, they're not a great offensive team in terms of individual playmakers. So when Lanier struggles, Tennessee can struggle. And that's what you saw in that first half. But you got to tip your cap to Houston because that was pretty darn good defense, and then doing what they do, won the glass, won the turnover battle. Calvin Sampson's got to be absolutely thrilled in the locker room right now.
Yeah, I would think so. And if you're a Tennessee Volunteers fan, you're wondering, where is Dalton Knecht? And the answer is getting back in L.A. to play the Rockets tomorrow night because he doesn't have any eligibility left either. They're down 19 at the half. Well, coming up in game number 2, right around 5 Eastern Time. You've got Michigan State taking on Auburn, the South Regional winner, to move on to the Final Four and play Florida. For Tom Izzo, he has been in this spot so many times, not just on the precipice of getting to the Final Four, but as the team that's the lower seed in this game, with Tom Crean getting ready for the ball game coming up later on this afternoon.
Tom, just give us your thoughts as, you guys have obviously watched the film on these guys. Everyone knows how good they are on paper. Just from your perspective, what are your top 2 or 3 keys to this game as you start to think about them?
Yeah, well, Broome is who he is, he's a player of the year candidate. He's, early in the year before he got injured, I think he was the favorite, but it's those guards, they got size at the guards. They're 6'6", 6'7", they 6'5", they've got shooting ability, and when they get hot, they're on fire. So our job is going to be contain the guards. We're going to try to do different things with him inside. We're going to double him big to big some. We might dig in the post, we call it, and then we might double off the ball and try to just send the guard down there swarming him to try to get it out of his hands. But it's hard to give up those threes, Threes count 3 and 2s count 2. So if we're doing a bad job, we'll be putting too much attention on him and giving up 3-point shots.
30 years ago, you coined a phrase, players play, tough players win championships. And I think of that in a lot of different ways with your team, but you're playing 9 guys over 9 minutes. That must mean that you got some pretty tough players. What is the depth of your team meant to you to get to this point, to be playing for a trip to the Final Four?
As you know, because you coached, it's sometimes harder to play 9 and 10 guys. And we played 10 guys 13 minutes a game for half the season. That means on the bench you're subbing. You got to in the office the next day, and that night you got to take care of guys. And why aren't I playing more? Why are this? 2 things have happened to us this year. We feel like we're the freshest we've been in a long time. We've had 0 injuries. Now I won't relate all that to that, but I do relate some of it to that. And we're not one of my more talented teams, and we've found ways to win, and I do think we've worn people down. So it's worked, but this is a team that, you get to the tournament, timeouts are longer, halftime's longer, you got to win it on the floor, not just with your depth, unless you can get somebody in foul trouble.
Tom, we always appreciate the time, and we wish you the best against Auburn tonight.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Well, meanwhile, on the other side, it is an Auburn team that has been playing, as Tom Izzo said, as well as anybody all season long. They were on pace to be the 1 seed for a very, very long time. And a big reason for that, as Dylan Cardwell said, it's who they played all year.
It's been a gauntlet this year. Every game we played has been a quad 1 game. We had to bring it every single game, whether at home, whether on the road. And so we've been battle tested this whole year, non-conference or conference play. But the SEC has kind of prepared for that level of physicality, level of desperation that we do need in March Madness.
Well, if we go back to what the quad rankings are to get ready for Selection Sunday, Auburn's 16 quad 1 wins. But Michigan State, Nick, was 3rd in the country with 13 quad 1 wins. So they both beat really good opponents all year long.
Yeah, no doubt. And Michigan State has taken on excellent front lines in the Big Ten, whether it's Michigan with Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden or Maryland with Reese and Derek Queen. That'll help them prepare for Cardwell and Broome in the interior. And I think Michigan State, if they can rebound, I think they can run Broome and Cardwell with their transition game, but you got to get that rebound initially. That transition game could not get going against Ole Miss. Ole Miss actually got Sparty on the glass in their last game. The glass has to go in favor of the Spartans tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be in a partisan Auburn crowd. You are not that far from campus in Atlanta, and they said and acknowledged that was a major part in their comeback over Michigan on Friday. We'll see if that plays a role this afternoon against Michigan State here on this Sunday. At the half, Houston by 19 over Tennessee, 34-15. Much closer game in the Women's Elite Eight. We'll tell you about that on the other side. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up. Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
Traveling in basketball? Bad move. Traveling the world? Great move. Wherever the road takes you, Best Western is your place to take a time out and catch your breath. Because every team needs a place to regroup. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Staley's team is going to the Final Four for a 5th consecutive year, and they are going to be looking for back-to-back national championships. As we check the tournament women's scoreboard, sponsored by GoodRx. Check GoodRx for simple, smart savings on weight loss medications and other prescriptions at GoodRx.com. The other game of the Elite Eight on the women's side is underway out in Spokane. UCLA in search of its first ever Final Four on the women's side, leading LSU. It's early, just 3 minutes in. They're up 7-2. You can listen to that on the Westwood One Sports app, as well as WestwoodOneSports.com. Don't forget, tomorrow night right here on many of these same stations as well, 7 Eastern, Texas TCU. The winner will get South Carolina in the Final Four in Tampa, and then USC and UConn tomorrow night just after 9 Eastern. Paige Becker's coming off a 40-point performance. Winner of that game will get either UCLA or LSU. It is all Houston in Indianapolis, 34-15 at the break. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Most people think child abuse is a bad parent problem.
Actually, the root causes may be different than you think.
Let us explain. Affordable housing for everyone.
That prevents child abuse. And access to health care in every community.
Prevents child abuse, too. High quality, affordable child care.
Paid family leave.
School breakfast and lunch programs.
All of this prevents child abuse.
It's all about keeping families out of crisis in the first place.
At least 1 in 7 children in the United States have experienced abuse or neglect in the past year. Prevent Child Abuse America promotes policies, programs, and resources informed by science that help communities, parents, and kids thrive.
Because when we keep families out of crisis,
we prevent child abuse
from ever happening.
Go to preventchildabuse.org to learn more.
That's preventchildabuse.org.
Let's solve child abuse before it ever happens.
Furnished by Prevent Child Abuse America.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, and I have been using a wheelchair since my accident in 1995.
My name is Andrea Dalzal, and I've been using a wheelchair since I was 5 years old.
I guess if I had one message for the general public, it would be that I appreciate your help. But please, ask first.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that I've actually got everything under control.
I think people get nervous. They don't know how to act, so they pretend I'm not there.
What probably bothers me the most is when waiters talk to my companion and not directly to me.
I think everyone with a disability can relate to that parking spot problem.
We know you're just parking in that disabled spot for a second, but please, don't. We're just looking for the same respect and consideration as everyone else.
United Spinal Association is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life of people living with spinal cord injuries and disorders. Download our disability etiquette booklet at unitedspinal.org.
Houston will bring it up off the block by Wilson. Even when you think you've got an easy one, there's no easy baskets out here against the Houston Cougars. Arsenault fading away over Okpara from 10 in the right corner. And it's 27-8 Houston, and Rick Barnes out on the elevated court calls his second timeout. How about Terrence Arsenault? Last 2 games has not scored, only played 20 minutes, 0 for 1 from the field. He has been a beast today. 8 points, 3 of 5.
He has. L.J. Cry led the way with 10, and it is 34-15 Houston at the half. The 15 points by Tennessee, tied for the fewest for any half in any Elite Eight. The other was Miami in the second half against Kansas back in 2022. But they were a double-digit seed, I believe. This is a different story, Nick. Do you see Tennessee getting back into this ballgame here in the second half?
It certainly doesn't look very bright in that regard. They got to find a way to get Chaz Lanier on track. He was only in single figures twice all season. He had 2 points in that first half. I think Tennessee needs to run more ball screen actions to see if you can't get 2 on the ball, and then you can have an advantage. They just have had a hard time creating an advantage at all and playing 4-on-3 in that first half. But got to get Lanier going if you're Tennessee.
He is really struggling. 1 of 9 and 0 of 6 from 3. Nick Baugh and I will continue to watch these games back with you here in the Straight Talk Wireless Studios. If you need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on a loop, switch to Straight Talk. Get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Kevin Kugler's Jam Mix includes things with banjos. He and Robbie Hummel will tell you about that, plus basketball on the other side. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Power. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
April 4th, 1983, the finals in Albuquerque pitted the heavily favored Houston Cougars against Jim Valvano and NC State. Surprisingly, the Wolfpack controlled the tempo of the game and stayed close throughout. And with the score tied and time winding down, Derek Wittenberg launched a 35-foot air ball that was grabbed by teammate Lorenzo Charles, who slammed it home to give the Wolfpack a stunning 54-52 win. But the indelible image was after the shot, as a frenzied Jimmy V ran around the court looking for somebody to hug.
That's what happens in college athletics, and it's a beautiful thing. There was a bunch of kids, who went out and beat one of the best basketball teams in the country. They might beat us 9 out of 10. They might beat us 99 out of 100. But today they didn't.
With another great moment in tournament history, I'm Kevin Kugler.
All Houston here in Indianapolis, a 34-15 lead as we get set to start the second half alongside Robbie Hummel and our entire Westwood One Sports crew. I'm Kevin Kugler. Let's check the halftime stats. Sponsored by Barbasol. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol shaving cream. For whatever your day brings, choose Barbasol. It's a can of can-do. That's something Tennessee would like, to have some sort of can-do, because can-don't has been the problem for Tennessee. 1 of 15 from 3, 6 of 28 from the floor. That's 21%. Their fewest first-half points in NCAA history as a team at 15. It matches their season low. Robbie mentioned this game earlier.
They trailed Florida 34-15 at halftime on January 7th. They lost that game 73-43. Meanwhile, for Houston, business as usual. 42% from the floor, 3 of 10 from 3. L.J. Cryer leads the way with 10 points, 5 rebounds. They've outscored Tennessee in the paint 16-6. Off the bench 12-4. Second chance points 11-4, thanks to 9 offensive rebounds as they've out-rebounded Tennessee 26-17 in the first half. Time now for the second half keys, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago electrical connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project. All right, Robbie, let's start with Tennessee because they need some big-time keys to get this engine started.
Have to up your toughness, have to up your physicality, and your best offensive players have got to play like it. The trio of Chaz Lanier, Zakai Ziegler, and Jordan Gainey only give you 9 points. They're 4 of 22 from the field. They are 1 of 13 from 3. If they're going to come back in this game, they're going to be the reason that happens. For Houston, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. You've won almost every statistical category that you possibly can. Your guards have been good. L.J. Cryer gets back on track. Their role guys have been great. Javier Francis, Terrence Arsenal, Malik Wilson, they really give Houston a spark off the bench. 12-4 advantage in bench points. Houston did a lot right in that first half.
And if they do a lot right in the second half, they're going to go back to the state of Texas, drive down the road about 3 hours, and play in the Final Four. Time now for the start of that second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit. 34-15. Houston's been out on this court already for about 5 or 6 minutes. We were watching them start their warm-ups. It's about as loose and comfortable as you can be on this stage for a team right now.
Well, it honestly feels like this lead is actually 30, not 19. I think that has to be the message with the Tennessee Volunteer huddle. Rick Barnes still trying to rally the troops, trying to get his team back on track. But you think about it, you can put together a little run, you put some game pressure on Houston. They are fortunate that this lead is not 25 or even 30 points, as well as Houston played and as poorly as Tennessee did.
Kelvin Sampson's been on the other side of this before. The last time a number 1 or 2 seed trailed by 19 or more at halftime, it was his team. They were down 45-20 to Baylor in the national semis in this building in the 2021 COVID tournament. Zakai Ziegler will start it up for Tennessee. Maybe this right-hand basket will be a better basket for the Vols. Into the right-hand corner it goes to Meshack. He'll bring it out top of the key. Hands to Lanier. Lanier pushes it back with a left hand to Meshack between the circles. 14 to shoot. Over to Lanier. 3 on the right wing. It is off. Rebound Meshack. Offensive board for Tennessee. Meshack in the left corner for 3. That's off the right side of the iron. No good. And the rebound tipped out of bounds off the hands of Milicic. And Houston, with an empty possession for Tennessee, will start it up the floor.
That number climbs to 1 of 17 from the three-point line. Tennessee gets 2 pretty good looks. 1 for Lanier, a great shooter. 1 for Meshack, a pretty good percentage on a low volume, but nothing doing again for Tennessee's offense.
They're not a great three-point shooting team at 34%, but they're better than this. Sharp will bring it across for Houston to Milos Uzan. Back it goes to Emmanuel Sharp, who cradles it on his right hip, sending it over to Roberts in the middle of the floor. Roberts holding it, waiting for Cryer to come from behind. He's denied, instead gives it to Uzan with 10 to shoot. Uzan sizing up Lanier. He'll bring it over to the left-hand wing. Back to Sharp with 5 to shoot. Sharp around his screen. Gets to the right-hand wing. 3 for Sharp. Up and off. Rebound loose. Scooped up by Lanier for Tennessee.
Tennessee's pressure blew up that possession. Houston just not getting into any type of offensive action until 5 on the shot clock.
Lanier on the run down the left side of the lane. His floater rolls off no good, and the rebound for Houston.
Tennessee needs the top dudes for their team to play like it. Chaz Lanier has just been out of sorts.
1 for 11. 0 of 7 for 3. Roberts on the right-hand side, going to work against Milicic, dribbles into the paint, left-hand running hook is good, and it's 36-15 Houston.
I don't know why Igor Milicic continues to let Juwan Roberts get to his strong left hand. Scouting report says that's where he wants to go, and they have not taken it away.
Ball poked free. Lanier tracks it down at half court for Tennessee. Ziegler now trying to penetrate to Meshack, and he throws it away.
Boy, great switch there. L.J. Cryer gets screened. He switches back to his man and gets a piece of that ball.
And around the screen, Tugler came free for a moment. He wanted the ball. Gives it right back to Cryer, though, as Tennessee recovered. Cryer penetrating against Okpara. The floater well short. Okpara changing that shot, and Okpara gets the rebound. Now Ziegler will navigate up. 3 in transition, top of the key. That won't go. Milicic, offensive rebound, and it's taken away by Roberts. Just picked his pocket cleanly. And it's 36-15 Houston with the ball.
Well, there's some boo birds out here. It's an Elite Eight game. It's just Tennessee. They can't do anything right here today.
Uzan standing middle of the floor. Ziegler trying to pick it out of his hands. Enters it to Roberts, who tracks it down, towing the line on the baseline to stay in bounds with 5 to shoot. Roberts now turning into the paint. Backs it up top. Uzan 3, top of the key. Off the heel, long rebound. Cryer, and a second chance for Houston. And Houston seemingly content to just shrink this game down. Cryer will back it out. 11 to shoot. Around a screen. Jumps it to the screener, Tugler, and a foul called. Fighting through the screen, I believe Akpara called for the personal foul as Gainey will enter for Tennessee. Nope, they give it to Meshack, his first.
Well, if you're Rick Barnes, where do you turn?
Yeah, you can't grab somebody off the waiver wire right now.
It's like your best guys aren't playing well. Your defense isn't getting it done. I'm shocked to see a Tennessee program that's been so good under Rick Barnes and so close play this poorly in this game.
Uzan peering over Gainey. He'll throw it into the backcourt. Tracking it down there is Jawan Roberts. Milos Uzan now will bring it up, and we've got a whistle. The clock never started, so we've got a clock issue. So while they adjust that clock, Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. They're just going to reset. They're going to re-enter this basketball at half court. Shot clock never moved. Game clock, they take 3 seconds off it and the shot clock. And now Houston will inbound half court. Into the backcourt to L.J. Cryer, and Cryer will hand it off to Uzan. 10 on the shot clock as he brings it into the front court. Stopping on the left-hand wing, trying to cross over against Milicic. 5 to shoot. Uzan crossing him over, gets into the paint, runs it towards the rim, throws it off the back iron, and Milicic the rebound off the miss. Gainey now will navigate from our left to our right, set up in the right-hand offensive zone. Tennessee 0 for 4 this half. Gainey to the left elbow. Jab step back out to Ziegler. Ziegler going down the right side of the lane. Got Cryer in the air. The shot blocked out of bounds by Tugler. But as Cryer went in the air, he came down, crowding Ziegler. A little bump. And the foul on L.J. Cryer means 2 shots are coming up for Zakai Ziegler.
That's why you jump stop. You're under control and you have options. Now you can shot fake it. It's a slight one, and L.J. Cryer barely leaves his feet. JoJo Tugler is going to put that thing out of bounds, but there is some contact there. Smart play by Ziegler. Play under control and make something happen off the bounce.
Ziegler just 1 of 8 from the floor. His first free throw attempt is good. The official NCAA ticket exchange is the only NCAA-approved place to buy and sell authentic, 100% guaranteed Final Four tickets with other fans. Visit the official NCAA ticket exchange today at ncaa.com/exchange. 36-16 Houston. Second free throw good for Ziegler. And with 16:40 to go, it is a 36-17 ball game.
See if Tennessee, they're picking up full court. They might turn that pressure dial here and try to make something happen with their defense.
Uzan gets it into the corner. Roberts bounces it back to Uzan, and now numbers for Houston. Uzan fakes the pass, drives it up, and Akpara able to clean it off the glass. What a play by Felix Akpara. Gainey will skip it over to the left-hand wing. Lanier in transition, hits the 3, and a sign of life from Knoxville. Tennessee on the board from deep with just their second 3, and it's 36-20.
That doesn't happen without Felix Akpara protecting the rim. Houston breaking that pressure, trying to score. Akpara, what a play. Tennessee finding something in the open floor.
Cryer now will try to settle things down on the Houston offensive end. Curls around the screen, gets into the paint, stops at the free throw line. The jumper from there rattles off. Rebound batted out to Uzan. In it goes to the batter. That's Roberts, who swatted it out. Now he'll go to work, trying to bang against Akpara. Gets to the baseline, count the bucket, floats it over the right side of the rim, and draw the foul.
What an answer from Houston right there. That's the counter. Jawan Roberts getting back to his right hand. Akpara taking away the left. What an answer from Jawan Roberts, the fifth-year senior, to make something happen and shut up this Tennessee crowd.
There's a timeout on the court sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. 38-20 with a free throw coming for Houston. When we return from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
always ask me, Guy, why are you so confident? And I tell them because I shop for a used car with Carfax. Why Carfax? Because I was able to pause for the facts. What kind of facts? Used car facts. Facts. Like which car has been in a reported accident, which ride has the best value, facts. Which car will have me feeling so confident that I'll just turn up the radio facts. And roll down the windows facts. And belt out show tunes, knowing full well that I cannot sing. Facts. Carfax is the answer. Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
And women's tournaments on the Westwood One Sports app and WestwoodOneSports.com. Sponsored by Masa Chips, classic tortilla chips fried in 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no fake ingredients, just real crunch. Code MM30 gets you 30% off your first order at MasaChips.com. Cade Phillips back on the floor now off the timeout for the Volunteers of Tennessee. Houston breaking that huddle with the same 5 that they started the second half with. A 38-20 advantage for the Cougars, and headed to the line is Jawan Roberts. The winningest player in Houston history, and the 4th player ever with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in a Houston uniform. Greg Anderson, Elvin Hayes, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Pretty good company.
We were talking before the game and just how incredible Houston's basketball history is. That foul shot's good for Roberts, but between the players they've had, the teams they've had, and now that the resurgence under Kelvin Sampson, he has done an incredible job of making Houston a powerhouse once again.
Here's Gainey. Quick 3 on the other side is good, and Tennessee with 2 second-half threes, and it's 39-23. Houston by 16 with the ball.
Well, a rare breakdown there by the Houston defense, not switching out that flare screen. And Jordan Gainey stepping in, drilling it with confidence.
Uzan, top of the circle, gives it off now to Tugler. Tugler, left-hand dribble, hands off to Cryer. Curling around the right side, Cryer back to Tugler. Free throw line hook is up and good. Tugler now with 6 to go with his 7 rebound.
Boy, and Tugler not a guy that believes in much arc. These are rockets going into the rim right there. Great find. L.J. Cryer drawing 2 and dishing it to his big.
Ziegler standing on the S's of March Madness at half court. Brings it over to the right side. Lanier off the screen for 3. Rims out, no good. Akpara pokes the rebound to Gainey. He'll throw it up from 8 feet with the right hand, and it's good. 41-25, Houston.
Felix Akpara is doing his thing out here, whether it's protecting the rim, keeping that play alive. And again, if you're Tennessee, you just have to give your crowd something to be excited about.
You can hear these Vols fans behind us trying to coax their team back into this one. Tugler standing top of the key. He'll put it on the deck against Akpara. Throws a scud up at the rim. It bounces off. Long rebound trickles out off Cryer. Gainey on the deck to get it. Now numbers for Tennessee. Ziegler feeding it to Phillips. Stripped out of his hands by Roberts. What a play by Jawan Roberts. Coming from behind. Knocks it out of Phillips' hands without fouling.
I love the hustle there, but that's a play where Zakai Ziegler, he knows better. He gives it up so early. It's a 3-on-1. You give it to Cade Phillips, the worst ball handler of the 3 running the floor, and you allow Houston to get back in that play and make a play on it.
Uzan will sit down, but first some Aggressive counseling from Kelvin Sampson on the sidelines.
There's been some of that from both coaches here this afternoon.
Ziegler will inbound on the right baseline. In front of him doing jumping jacks is Francis. The inbound bounce to Lanier on the left block against Wilson. Double team comes from Francis, chasing Lanier out to the left-hand wing. Here's Gainey between the circles, 15 to shoot. Gainey puts it on the deck, gets by Cryer, maybe a little hook as he gets to the rim and lays it in. No whistle, though, and it's 41-27, the lead 14.
That's just an individual play there. You got actions on both sides. Pin down flares, the middle of the floor is wide open. Jordan Gainey going to work. Crossover dribble, little extra activity with that off arm, but he gets downhill into the rim.
And the ball tipped. Cryer saves it for Houston with 15 to shoot. Swing around to the right side, in the corner. Sharp for three, and he quiets the crowd again. Houston has consistently had an answer. This time Sharp from three, and it's 44-27.
Once again, there's two on the ball in pick and roll. Swing to the corner. Emmanuel Sharp hasn't shot it great here in the NCAA tournament, but he makes a big one right there.
And a foul away from the ball, screening down low. Malik Wilson fighting through Gainey, and he picks up the personal foul. That's his second. And the second team foul on Houston in this second half.
Our keys to the second half, Kevin. We said the Tennessee guards had to get it going. Jordan Gainey has the last 7 for Tennessee. Some signs of life here.
He's the only guard shooting it well. You've got Gainey at 5 for 9. Ziegler and Lanier are a combined 3 for 21 from the floor. And if you'd have said before the game they're going to be a combined 3 for 21, I would say they'd be down by 17.
No question. Especially with Cryer getting back on track and some of the role guys for Houston playing as well as they have.
Ziegler will inbound on the left baseline. Needs to get it in. Comes in now to Meshack on the left-hand wing. Meshack dribbling mid-floor. Goes over to the right side and Ziegler. Ziegler sizing up Cryer. A little jab step. Cryer won't bite. 12 to shoot. Ziegler, double team shows. Trying to get around Roberts. Goes down the baseline. Throws it back up top. Gainey, catch, shoot, three. Got it. Gainey feeling it. He's got 3 more. It's a 14-point game, 44-30 Houston.
That's an incredible find from the undersized Zakai Ziegler. Houston going to take a timeout. Jordan Gainey, he caught that at his chin, never brought it down. The quick release on display. Tennessee starting to dial it up from downtown.
And the coach's son, his dad Justin, the associate head coach for Tennessee, trying to carry his team back. He's 6 of 10. The rest of the team is 5 of 29, but the Vols within 14 at 44-30. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from RateFilings.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels.
Barbasol. Do you like your protein crunchy, chewy, salty, or sweet? If you've got goals, Quest has cheats. From bars to protein milkshakes to chips and crackers, Quest Nutrition is big on protein, low on sugar, and huge on flavor. It's basically cheating. 44-30, Houston by 14, although Tennessee has found their range. Is it too late? They've hit 5 of their last 7 shots, but 3 of 7 from 3 in this half to give Volunteer fans at least a glimmer of hope here in Indianapolis.
It's been Jordan Gainey who's done it. 10 of his 14 points in the game have come after the break. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the perimeter in the second half. And you can just feel the energy in the building. It certainly has changed. What will the response be by the Houston Cougars?
44-30. Gainey's having a real nice NCAA tournament. 7 against Wofford, 13 UCLA, 16 against Kentucky, and 14 so far today. Pressure extended again by Tennessee. They jump it across to Cryer, and Cryer will bring it middle of the floor and across the half-court line. Milos Uzan now back to Cryer. Little two-man game at the top. Feeding it over now to Francis. Francis swings it back over to Cryer on the left-hand wing. Enters it left block, extended to Roberts. Roberts going to work against Phillips. One dribble, now a second. Trying to turn into the paint. Turns to the left hand, off the window and good. And Robbie Hummel, you've said it before. He got to that left hand.
You know it's coming. Juwan Roberts, he's taking you middle just to get back to his strong left. But Tennessee not doing nearly enough to take that away.
Shack back to Ziegler on the right wing. 16-point lead for Houston. Gainey trying to go to work. Right on top of him is Uzan. It goes to Phillips, but before Gainey could get it to Phillips, a whistle and a foul on Juwan Roberts. That's his third. Foul number 3 on Roberts, number 3 on Houston in the second half, and the Vols will inbound.
When it's not, Juwan Roberts can make a play with his right hand, but the percentages drop. You're trying to take away from really good players what they do well. You're trying to make them do things that maybe aren't as comfortable. And if you let Juwan Roberts get back to the left hook, he's going to make those.
Nearly every time today, Roberts 4 of 6 from the floor. He gets a breather right now after that third foul. Ziegler off the inbound, standing top of the key. Pushes a left-hand pass over to Gainey. Gainey, a shot fake. He'll drive into the paint. Stops one step beyond the right elbow. Fading away with the jumper. It won't go. And the rebound ripped down by Meshack for Tennessee. He finds Ziegler. Ziegler driving baseline. Blocked off down there. Swing back out to Meshack. 12 to shoot. He's fouled by L.J. Cryer on the drive down the right side of the lane.
Well, Tennessee's competitive fight here in the second half has gone to another level, and it had to match what Houston brought in the first half.
I would assume it was a fiery conversation at halftime.
I can imagine, yes.
Because there was not this much life from Tennessee in the first half. They were completely outgunned, down 34-15 at halftime. Ziegler inbounding right baseline. Into the corner to Gainey. Double comes. He throws it away, but trickles out to Meshack. Meshack in the scramble. Drives to the left block. Dishes left corner to Lanier. Lanier fading away from 15 on that left baseline. No good. Rebound Malik Wilson of Houston.
He just can't buy one. That's a tough contested one. Just hits back iron. And Chaz Lanier's rough afternoon continues on.
2 for 14 for Lanier. Uzan driving left baseline. Tried to cross-court pass it. It's tipped out of bounds by Tennessee. And that takes us to the under 12 media timeout. 11:41 to play. Houston 46, Tennessee 30. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
With Marriott Bonvoy, take your game day rituals on the road. No matter how you show your team spirit, find a stay for your style when you explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences. Marriott Bonvoy has a brand for every kind of fan. Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Explore more at marriottbonvoy.com/NCAA.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
This season, it's not just madness on the hardwood, but outdoors in the yard, too. No matter what the challenge, Ego Outdoor Power Equipment delivers incredible power and performance. From yard work essentials like mowers, blowers, chainsaws, and trimmers to innovations such as portable power stations and cordless pressure washers. You can use the same battery to power over 90 tools. That's why Ego has over 200,000 five-star reviews and counting. Check out the winning lineup at egopowerplus.com.
Download the official NCAA March Madness Live app, and you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game, and if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. Tennessee has outscored Houston 3 points in this second half, but Houston is certainly in a different position than they were Friday against Purdue. That game had 11 lead changes, 9 ties, came down to that last second shot. Today, Houston jumped out to that 4-0 lead, and they have not looked back to this point of 16.
Well, it's not a good thing for the Volunteers that it feels like they've played so much better here in the second half, and you've only shaved off 3 points. Right. You know, Houston now has found its way offensively. They made 4 of their last 5 from the field. And Tennessee has got to find a way to start getting stops and continue to shave off points from this 16-point deficit.
It'll be Houston ball. Inbounding right baseline is Milos Uzan. Uzan with Meshack doing jumping jacks in front of him. They'll kick it into the left corner. Cryer, shot fake. Lanier flies by, now launches the 3, no good. Offensive rebound inside by Francis. Throws a dart at the backboard. It won't carry him home. And the rebound to Gainey for Tennessee. Meshack now back up top to Ziegler. Ziegler will set it up at the top of the key over to Gainey on the right-hand side. Now he'll dribble middle of the floor. Uzan sagging off just a bit as he gives it off to Ziegler. Ziegler, the lob underneath, and it's broken up beautifully. What a play by Francis. He wanted the lob to Okpara, and he just denied it, batting it to his teammate.
But he's playing the pin down to make the ball handler feel uncomfortable, but with the length still able to get back. Offensive rebound last possession on this end for Javier Francis, and then a great defensive play on the other.
Cryer turns the corner, backs it up top now to the top of the key, and Wilson. Wilson will feed to Uzan, 7 to shoot. Uzan trying to go one-on-one against Gainey, crossing him over, gets to the right side of the lane, falls down, keeps the ball alive, dishes to Wilson, left corner, the 3 won't go, rebound batted out and into the hands of Jordan Gainey of Tennessee. So Tennessee gets the stop, but still down 16, 46-30. Ziegler underhands to Gainey, sets the screen. Gainey hesitates, tries to blow by Cryer, gets down low. Francis is there to block him off. Meshack back over to the right-hand wing, and Lanier drops it on a bounce to Meshack, crashing down the right side to the rim, banks it home. 14-point game in Indy.
I like the old school pick and roll. Jemai Meshack acting as a big right there. Gets to that short roll, and how about taking on the shot blocker, getting right to the chest of Javier Francis.
Malik Wilson trying to navigate for Houston against Meshack. His pocket pick, and it ends up with Lanier. Lanier a little bobble as he brings it across the timeline to Ziegler. Ziegler now weaving. Under 10 to play in this one. Tennessee down 14. Into the right corner. Gainey fakes the 3. He'll drive baseline, gets to the rim. No, but a foul. Aggressive take to the rim. Gainey a little slow to get up as he got knocked down underneath by Javier Francis. 2 shots coming, though, for Gainey with 9:50 to go.
Well, he got rocked right there. It was a great shot fake. And that defender leaves their feet. And Jordan Gainey, it's amazing. You make a couple shots, the defense starts closing out to you differently. And if you can shoot, you can drive. Utilize that shot fake, get to the rim, earn a trip to the foul line.
Kevin Kugler and Robbie Hummel here at our Grainger courtside seats in Indianapolis. When you need products in a pinch, Grainger offers same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. Click Grainger.com or stop by for industrial-grade supplies for your business. First free throw good for Jordan Gainey, the 81% free throw shooter who has been the offense today for Tennessee. He has 15. The next closest Volunteer with 5.
Somebody's got to come alongside with him. Lanier has been so good in the NCAA tournament. 3 tournament games for him. 22 points a game, 46% from the field. Ziegler's been great all postseason long, but those guys have not held up their end of the bargain today.
A combined 3 of 22 for those two, and now before the free throw into the lane. The free throw was good, but a lane violation wiped the point off the board. 46-33, and it was Meshack.
Fell in there.
Yeah, just fell in.
That's a total lack of concentration, and if I'm Gainey, I'm going up to him like, you watch me shoot foul shots every day.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
Inbound comes with pressure, lobbed ahead to Sharp. Sharp breaks the pressure all the way to the rim. It's good. He worked it around the block attempt of Milicic, lays it in, and it's 48-33 Houston.
That's how you break a press. You don't do it just to break it. You break it to score. Great job by Houston. Looking up the floor, and Emmanuel Sharp all the way to the rim, 94 feet.
Ziegler to Dubar, 3, right wing. No. Milicic, offensive rebound for Tennessee. He'll put it on the deck, dribble it back out to Ziegler. He'll turn the right corner. Gets to the right block. Stops. Finds Lanier. Now back it goes to Meshack. Drives left side of the lane. Blocked off by Cryer. 7 to shoot. Ziegler will try. Penetrates. And Roberts bats it off his leg and out of bounds. It'll belong to the Houston Cougars.
And you get multiple rotations on multiple dribble drives. Houston recovers every time. And great hands right there. Juwan Roberts, Zakai Ziegler kind of rocking that ball from right to left. He exposes it to Juwan Roberts, and those active hands knock it right off the knee.
9th turnover for the Volunteers, only 2 for Houston. Houston's outscored Tennessee 10-1 off turnovers in this ballgame. In the left-hand offensive zone, it's Cryer dribbling middle of the floor. He's got Meshack on his left hip as he drives to the baseline, fades away from 10 feet. No, Meshack the rebound for Tennessee. He'll start it up the floor to Ziegler. Back it goes to Meshack, driving to the rim.
What a block.
And count the bucket. They're going to count it for a goaltend.
Yeah, there's no chance that was a goaltend.
Tugler with the goaltend call. Count the bucket and a chance for one more at the line. However, they're going to go look at this to see. Meshack driving down the right side of the lane. He's fouled by Uzan.
Yeah, that's a good block. That was an incredible play.
And Tugler coming out of nowhere, and that ball not even to the backboard yet as he swatted it away. While they look at this, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Is a goaltend against White. That play is under review.
And while we do that, we pause for those aforementioned 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. Let's check the attendance, sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. There are 18,567 in attendance here in Indianapolis, and each and every one of those human beings is waiting on word from Doug Sermons as to whether or not this is a goaltend.
The call on the floor has been reversed. That is not a goaltend. Orange 15 will be entitled to 2 shots on the foul.
Somewhere Doug Shows is saying, I'm starting a clinic. I'm going to teach everybody how to do this into the microphone.
I'm going to get these dudes right, and I'm going to make a lot of money doing it. That's what Doug's saying.
The Doug Shows Referee Microphone Clinic opens this summer. Every one of these referees is going to go learn from Doug how to explain and project.
And I think it's necessary. Now,
absolutely.
We got this ref mic. Let's roll.
It's an entertainment industry now. These refs are a part of the show.
See, but I hate that rule. They blow that first foul shot's no good for Meshack because it rims out. They're calling these goaltends because they want to get them right.
Correct.
I get that, but we're below the floor. We're right sitting courtside. The floor is elevated. There was not a doubt in my mind. Now, granted, I'm sitting and not running down the court, but that was never a goaltend.
Meshack missed both free throws, so nothing doing for the Vols down 15, 48-33.
Meshack's 0 for 4 from the line here today.
Usually pretty good, 76%. Houston will set up in the left-hand offensive zone. Roberts wants a clear out. He wants to go to work against Milicic. Trups it back out now to Sharp. Sharp, a dart from three. That's a flat shot that bounces off the iron into the arms of Chaz Lanier.
Pretty good from Meshack there. He's in a tough spot with Cryer and Sharp. Both can shoot, but he just made him a little uncomfortable.
Oh, Lanier with the blow-by to the rim for two. And Chaz Lanier, maybe that'll get him going. Just 3 for 15 from the floor and a 48-35 Houston lead.
They need him to get it going. That hesitation, you freeze Juwan Roberts, you get an easy one at the rim, and now Tennessee's got to start stacking some of these stops.
Under 8 to play in this one. Uzan at the top of the key with 10 to shoot. Drops it off. Double comes. Uzan gets it back. Skips left corner. Sharp 3 left corner. Pinball's out. No good. Meshack has it knocked away. Ends up with Cryer, and the floater in the lane is good.
That's got to be a foul. That is a terrible no call there. Meshack blocking out. Definite over the back. Goes the way of Houston.
And it ends up with 2, 50-35. Dubar, quick 3 on the other end. That's off the iron, no good. And Darlin Stone Dubar 0 for 4 from the floor.
That's not the shot you're looking for. He's the definite fifth option out there for Tennessee.
And now Uzan will walk it up. Houston trying to control it again. Uzan lost the dribble, dives on it at half court and calls timeout. Houston down to 1 timeout with 7:17 to go. Rick Barnes is discussing with referee Courtney Green why there wasn't a foul called on the Meshack box out down low. He's not getting an answer he wants to hear. 50-35, Houston with a timeout. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day.
What's up, basketball fans? Thank you all for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever it is where you are watching from. It's very important. This next step is so important. Bring more basketball fans here to the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto just by hitting that like button and sharing this link out to all of your friends on social media. Got a special message from Joe Bowen. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for sharing this out and helping us build this awesome community. Good luck to your team. We'll see you in the chat.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like, subscribe, and share, because every click impacts SickKids' mission to heal the future.
The bench and go to monster.com today.
All right, Jason Horowitz, Nick Bob, back with you here in our Westwood One studios. It was a 19-point game at the half. It's still 15-point advantage. Houston with 7:17 to go. We checked the tournament summary, sponsored by Marriott Bonvoy. Take your game day rituals on the road with Marriott Bonvoy. Over 30 hotel brands for every kind of fan. Explore more at MarriottBonvoy.com/NCAA. If Houston holds on, you'll have 3 Final Four teams represented by 1 seeds. That hasn't happened in a decade. Of course, it's only been one ever time where you have 4 1 seeds reach the Final Four. That in 2008, and Auburn would have a chance to complete that quartet later on tonight against Michigan State. Nick, by the way, I was just looking. I was like, how long ago do you have to go to find the last time a team didn't score 50 in the Elite Eight? Not that far back. 3 teams who lost in the Elite Eight in 2022 did not score 50.
Wow. Yeah, that's surprising, considering at this stage you assume you got some potent offenses, but you also have some potent defenses, and that's been what the case has been today with the Houston Cougars. And Houston, Jason, has done a great job of answering every time Tennessee has tried to mount any sort of run. And Tennessee, to me, you got to keep on full court pressing, try to find a way to speed the game up and see if you can't get your offense going in more broken floor situations.
Back to Indianapolis, Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much. Uzan will inbound for Houston into the backcourt to L.J. Cryer.
Double comes out as they bring it across to Uzan. Now kick it over to the left side and Sharp. Cryer at the top, feeding it to Roberts. Roberts trying to find room in the paint. Ball knocked out of his hands, kicked free. It ends up with Cryer. 3 to shoot with Sharp on the baseline. Step back, 3 in the left corner. No good, and the rebound, Chaz Lanier of Tennessee. 15-point game. Ziegler on the move. Tried to leave it behind for Lanier. He catches, goes baseline, drives, left to right. No! But a foul on Jawan Roberts. His 4th, and that'll send Lanier to the line for 2.
And I like that Chaz Lanier has decided in this second half, especially when he gets the matchup with Jawan Roberts, that he is putting it on the floor and making something happen at the rim. Not settling for jumpers, but looking to get to that basket and earn trips to the foul line.
Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits. Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. Lanier at the free throw line. First one good for Chaz Lanier. 8 points on 3 of 15 shooting. His first free throw of the day is good. And Roberts will sit down with that 4th foul. And that brings in Terrence Arsenault, who has played well today for Houston.
He has, especially offensively. Gotten to the offensive glass, made a couple perimeter jump shots.
Lanier good on the second free throw, and it's 50-37. But for Tennessee, it's got to start on this end of the floor. Do they extend that pressure again? At least they will on the inbound. Yes, and they will keep it going. Uzan brings it across to Cryer. Now Tennessee scrambling back defensively. Cryer doubled on the near sideline over to Uzan. Uzan dribbling middle of the floor. Gainey sizing him up. Pounding that left-hand dribble. Dribbles between his legs. Switching from left to right hand. Now to Tugler, top of the key. Tugler finding space. Drops it off to a cutting Cryer. Floater from 5. Will not go. Rebound batted into the air. Lanier saves it for Tennessee. And on the move from left to right. Lanier on the left-hand wing. Bumped by Sharp. Ball taken out of his hands. Sharp diving for it. Bats it out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee ball with 21 to shoot.
You can feel we are getting so close to that winning time here. Both teams up in the intensity, 6:13 to play, bodies everywhere. Manuel Sharp did a heck of a job of fighting Lanier there. Beats him to the spot, gets a hand on the basketball, lays out right along that sideline. All trickles out of bounds, but Kelvin Sampson has to love that type of effort.
Tennessee's coaching staff out to help mop the floor. Mop guy nowhere to be found right now.
He's standing behind the stanchion.
He's looking. Oh, he's anxious.
He's indecisive.
He's waiting. He doesn't know what to do. You got to be decisive as mop guy in the Elite Eight, Robbie.
Gainey is kind of like trying to use his feet to dry the floor up. That's a catastrophic error.
Ziegler off the inbound. We'll see if that comes back to bite anybody. Milicic on the drive to the rim for the 2-hand flush. And it's an 11-point game, 50-39.
The reputation of Chaz Lanier gets that slip for Milicic there. Pin down, flare rescreen action. And if you're going to be 2 with the shooter, you got Milicic and now a 10-second violation.
10 seconds. Uzan can't get it across the half-court line, and Tennessee's got a chance to cut it to a single-digit deficit for the first time since the 11:39 mark in the first half when Houston took a 15-4 lead.
Well, Tennessee with some real momentum. That full-court pressure paying off. Houston just a little bit casual. Big possession right here.
Just the 3rd turnover of the game for Houston. Lanier on the left wing. He'll drive to the rim. Scoops it underneath to Dubar. Dubar fouled on his way up by Tugler. Boy, Dubar hesitated ever so slightly. Tugler commits the foul. Kelvin Sampson said it should have been a tie-up. Instead, it's 2 shots for Darlin Stone Dubar.
We're looking at the replay right now. Oh, my goodness. That is just, that's a missed call right there. Good cut on the baseline. Dubar understands what that is just like straight ball. It's an awful call.
Tugler was saying I was right on top of the ball, and he was right when you see it on the replay. Dubar, 12 of 20 on the year at the line, hits the first. Spruce is a new weed and grass killer with 9 simple yet effective ingredients that are safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spruce works differently by dehydrating the weed down to the roots. It is a 10-point game. Houston's largest lead was 22 late in that first half. Tennessee to the line for one more, down 50-40. When it gets to 9, if it does, listen to this crowd. Free throw no good, though. Tugler lost it. It trickles over to Wilson, his teammate. Still a 10-point game.
They got to go here.
Boy, the ball slipped through the hands of Cryer and almost taken away by Meshack. Somehow that only took 2 seconds.
No, the shot clock reset to 25, weirdly. They're going to have to take a look at this because that's not right.
Yeah, there's no way that whole play unfolding took 2 seconds. So they're going to look over to the sideline. There is an alternate official. Deldre Carter is over there as the alternate official and should be able to help with this as they sort out a timing error. And it is definitely a timing error because the shot clock's at 28. They've got until 20. No timeout was used, so that does not reset the 10-second clock. Witness history in the making. The U.S. women's national team faces off against Brazil in the first ever professional women's sporting event at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on Saturday, April 5th. To secure your seats, visit ussoccer.com/tickets.
And the replay, Kevin, just showed the shot clock off the miss reset to 25 and started, and then reset to 30 and ran 2 seconds. So they'll have to time out how much time actually did run off, but between some of the missed calls and now the clock error, this has been a bit of a choppy end of the game.
And it's not what you want to see if you're Houston. You want the flow to continue because it was going in your favor so much. The choppiness of this game may help Tennessee a little bit as they've tried to get their footing in this second half, and they've actually outscored Houston by 9. So the officials still continuing to pore over this replay and get the timing right. Here we go.
The last play is under review for potential clock error.
Okay, boy, took a while just to get to that announcement.
I assume that he maybe just forgot.
Maybe
has been reviewing.
Yep. Well, just for a note, nobody has ever trailed by 19 points or more at the half and won an NCAA tournament game. 0-243 is the record.
Well, we had the perfect 1 seed versus 16 record for, somebody eventually will probably get that.
I was on the call for those games.
Yeah, we know.
Would you like to hear the highlights? I have them on my phone.
You should.
I actually don't. Here we go. Doug Sermon says, turn off the music. Do you remember? On the 30th night of March, Doug Sermons has an announcement. He's not pushing down the microphone. So now they crank it up again. Do you remember? You've got to push down the microphone. Here we go.
The call on the floor was White's basketball out of bounds off Tennessee. The possession started at 5:41. The shot clock should be at 22 seconds, with White having 2 seconds to get in the front court.
Sal's about to be paid. He's about to be paid.
He is going to get that paper, Robbie.
Oh, yes, he is.
5:33 to go in this second half.
Wise men have said those words.
Yes, they have. All right, so they've got 2 seconds to get it from about three-quarter court in the backcourt across the half-court line, or it's another 10-second count. It'll be Uzan who will inbound. He's looking to his right into the front court. Needs some help. Lobs it into the sideline. It's caught by Wilson. Wilson will drive to the right block and back it out to Sharp. Steps into a three. Top of the key. It's good. He grins over his shoulder to the crowd as he drops down a three and makes it 53-40 Houston.
I love the confidence right there. Emmanuel Sharp just stepping in out of the trail. You get that initial push with the pass, and Malik Wilson sets the table perfectly.
Lanier will give it over to Gainey. 13 to shoot for Gainey. Bumped on his way in, and Uzan picks up the personal. That's his second. 1-1 here as the 9th team foul is whistled against Houston in this second half. And to the line goes Tennessee.
Boy, Milos Uzan is asking, what else am I supposed to do? I'm in a legal guarding position. Gainey just falls down. What a shot, though, from Emmanuel Sharp right there. That's a big moment in the game. Lead's been cut to 10. But we just saw the replay again. I mean, Jordan Gainey, trips over himself. These calls have been abysmal.
Gainey to the line for the 1-1. Front end is good, and one more to go. Okpara back on the floor for Tennessee, and leaving is Milicic. 53-41. Tennessee within 12. Gainey's second is good. 53-42. Back to an 11-point game. Ziegler flipping into referee Courtney Green, who will hand to Uzan an inbound. Pressure applied again by Tennessee. Uzan into the corner, batted out of the hands by Meshack, and it went off a Houston player. Cryer couldn't secure it. Meshack bats it away, and it'll belong to Tennessee.
That's a great play by Meshack here. Yeah, that does look like it just goes right off the hand to L.J. Cryer. Meshack applying pressure and made that happen.
Gainey will inbound on the near sideline. Comes to the right wing and Ziegler. Can Tennessee get it to single digits? Gainey rushing for a three. Now drives inside, floats up a layup, no good, and the rebound Tugler for Houston.
Well, that's the Tugler effect, though. You've got him down there third in the Big 12 in blocks per game at 2, but he alters so many more. Jordan Gainey just never comfortable going up with that off left.
Cryer on the left side, doubled, gets it over to Uzan, swing around to the right side, Sharp, three, right wing.
Whoa!
Razor Sharp for Emmanuel Sharp. Back-to-back triples. Houston by 14, 56-42. Ziegler will swing it around to the left side. Meshack drops it off. Ziegler, three, left side. Strong off the iron, no. Uzan, the rebound. He's tripped up by Meshack, who had gotten underneath Uzan. And Uzan smartly, when he felt that body, went over the body and went down for the trip.
How about the shot making, though, by the Big 12 tournament most outstanding player, Emmanuel Sharp? When Tennessee's ramped it up with their pressure, that's twice now where he's been ready to shoot, ready to make them pay for it. Tennessee trapping on the left sideline. Ball gets out. Emmanuel Sharp stepping in from beyond NBA range and knocking down another massive triple.
In his NCAA tournament career, he's a 39% shooter from three, 42% this season from three. But he's been money in the tourney. Bringing it up is Wilson for Houston. Into the right side. Tugler extended in the block. Back out it goes to Uzan. Uzan jumps it over to the right-hand wing, and Wilson set three from there. It's good. And Houston flexing its formidable muscle. They're back up by 17, 59-42, under 4 to go.
Boy, Tennessee is just getting torched. They're having to trap and try to force turnovers. Houston's handling it, getting open shots, and they're knocking them down when it's the most important part of the game.
9-2 run over the last couple of minutes. Lanier turns the corner, and ripped out of his hands by Sharp, but a foul is called. Sharp took it away, but got a little contact according to the officials as he did, and picks up his third personal foul. That'll take us to the under 4 media timeout with Houston in control, 59-42. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a live game. We're on a mission to hit 100,000 insiders. And you can help us grow this amazing community of sports fans making a difference. Join the conversation, keep it classy, and we'll see you in the chat. Good luck to your team and your bracket.
You to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
You can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of both the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game remaining, live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. 59-42. Houston has hit its last three from the floor, all from behind the arc. Two giant threes for Emmanuel Sharp. Just when Tennessee thought they had a little life, Emmanuel Sharp, like good players do, just a stiff arm to kind of push the Volunteers back down.
What a tremendous option for this Houston offense is kind of the third scorer. You know, Uzan has had a great year. He's second team all Big 12. LJ Cryer, phenomenal all year long. Makes the first team. But you get Emmanuel Sharp, who had so much success in the Big 12 tournament and just plays with such a confidence level. He stepped in. Those are big-time moments. And when it comes to you, he absolutely had the look of a guy that wanted that ball in his hands. And how about Malik Wilson? Not a high-volume guy in the season from three, but he makes one too. And just as Tennessee made their run, Houston with a run of their own right back at you.
3:43 to go and a 59-42 advantage for Houston. Lanier at the line for Tennessee, good on the first free throw. Tennessee's largest comeback this year was 16. They were down 16 to Vandy on February 15th. This is not Vandy, no offense to the Commodores, but this defense that Houston has is a tick better. Both free throws good. 59-44, Houston by 15. They apply the pressure to Tennessee again, and a foul given immediately as Tugler had the basketball in his hands. He was fouled. Foul to give. Actually, a couple for Tennessee. Yeah, that was just the fourth team foul. So trying to give a few of them here in case it gets to the point where you would need to foul.
Well, anytime Tugler has the ball, Kelvin Sampson has wisely moved him into the front court.
They need to get this ball in, and they just do to Cryer, but he's trapped in the corner. Underhands it to Wilson. Wilson jumps it across to Tugler, and Tugler will throw it back to Wilson.
They're going to look to foul Tugler if he gets the basketball. Not a great foul shooter.
Wilson will give it over to Uzan. Back it goes to Cryer. Three on the left wing. No good. Rebound loose, and it's scooped up by Emmanuel Sharp of Houston. They swing it around with 15 to shoot, and they'll reset. Uzan. Back over to Cryer. Cryer to the free throw line. No look to Sharp. Three on the right wing. Oh! Sharp cuts him to the quick. Another three. His third in a row. And it's 62-44. He's hit his last three from deep. Lanier, jumper no, but a foul on the perimeter. And Lanier will shoot two at the line as Sharp picks up his fourth foul.
I mean, he's kind of been the hero of the game here that's pushed that lead back out, but he's trailing Chaz Lanier, and he was giving Kelvin Sampson a look. Kelvin was letting him have it about fouling a jump shooter. The shot making on display for Sharp on one end, but a defensive mistake, and Lanier knocks down the first of his first three free throws.
They called it a three on that left edge, and so 62-45 as the first is good. Sharp is having himself a whale of a game offensively. He's got 16, 4 of 10 from threes. The second free throw goes down, and Lanier gets one more. But it's been in succession, back-to-back-to-back triples, the last three shots for Sharp.
What a second half he's had. You know, when they've needed an answer, Emmanuel Sharp has been the guy.
Third free throw is good, so the answer comes from 3 free throws from Lanier, and it's back to a 15-point game, still 2:58 to go. Uzan needs to get this ball inbounds. He throws it into the corner to Sharp. Sharp in some trouble, double-teamed, and a foul is given, and Sharp got poked in the face in the midst of that double. We'll see if they go look at this. The foul is on Ziegler.
The comical thing is that we have the cylinder rule, but it's like thrown out the window in these types of
I don't
like.
I saw it
terrible.
You and I saw it called once earlier this year, and I was stunned to see it.
It made a little bit of a comeback in February, but it appears to be gone again.
So pressure applied again on the inbound. Uzan trapped behind the half-court line, feeding it now to Cryer. Cryer up ahead. It goes to Wilson, and Wilson back to the left side, and Tugler. Now Cryer in the paint, backs it out, 15 to shoot. They break the pressure now to work. Uzan dribbling middle of the floor, 10 on the shot clock, trying to drive past Lanier. He does, and Lanier, as he goes past him, reaches in and commits the foul. That's his first, team's 6th. They had that foul to give.
You didn't want to do that, though, with 8 on the shot clock.
Right.
If you were going to give a foul, you're giving it right away. You don't run a good 22 seconds off the clock, and that's what Rick Barnes is telling Chaz Lanier.
Yeah, either foul or don't, but don't do it that late.
Not in the middle, or even that's getting close to the end.
So a new 20 to work with for Uzan, who will inbound near sideline. Lobs it into the backcourt to Sharp. Sharp will work it up against Gainey. The skip over to Cryer. Cryer across, hands it to Uzan with 12 to shoot. Back it goes to Cryer. They're near half court. Lob over to Sharp. Sharp with 7 to shoot. You know he thought about it. Turns it down. Goes to Cryer on the right wing. He'll shoot the 3. Pinball's out. No good. Lanier the rebound for Tennessee, down 15 with the ball. Lanier will navigate from left to right. Up the right sideline. Sends it over to the left wing and Gainey. Gainey underhands it back to Lanier. 3 from the logo is strong. Rebound ripped down by Wilson.
Boy, you can see why Malik Wilson averages almost 5 rebounds a game. Just an incredible vertical jump.
Yeah, he's springy. Here's Cryer, gets it across the half-court line, shoves it underneath to Tugler. No look to Wilson, trying to wrap it back to Tugler when traffic came his way, and it's tipped out of bounds with 15 to shoot and 1:49 to the final 4 for Houston.
I thought Malik Wilson might try to go upstairs, but with Felix Akpara, 6'11", coming over, he thought otherwise.
It'll be Uzan inbounding. Right baseline, out to Cryer, 3 right wing, he got it again! Cryer with 15. Houston with a barrage from 3. 6 of them in this second half, and it's 65-47. Lanier on the other end, the quick 3 is answered. Dropping it in from the right wing, back to 15, but 90 seconds to go.
And Tennessee just continues to run those pin downs for Lanier over the course of 40 minutes. It's hard to stay locked in on that action.
And a foul as the ball is given to L.J. Cryer. And Lanier offers the personal foul to one of the best free throw shooters in America. Cryer parades to the other end for a 1-and-1, 91.3% this year at the stripe. So now Cryer to the line for the 1-and-1. And an SEC chant starts from Houston fans across the way. I believe that's a mocking chant.
I thought it was, is it not MVP?
I don't think it's MVP. I believe it's SEC. SEC.
Petty.
Yes. Second free throw good for Cryer. 2 for 2 on that trip. 17-point Houston lead. Ziegler. Over to Gainey. Shot fake. Gainey dribbling through the lane. Over to the left side to Lanier for 3. Off the heel. Uzan the rebound for Houston with 1:08 to go. Uzan is going to bring this one up. They can feel it now. Cryer on the move. Pushes it left side. 1 minute to play. Uzan. Mid-floor, working against Meshack. He'll turn, gets past Meshack to the left elbow, forces up a jumper, and it's good for Uzan. He's got 6, a quiet day, but they haven't needed him. Up 69-50. Gainey will swing it around to Lanier. Backing it up. Meshack 3. Draws the front rim, no good. Wilson the rebound, and now Houston starting to coax their fans to cheer. The orange-clad Volunteer fans streaming to the exits as Houston can see it. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Volunteers hanging their heads. Cryer will dribble this one at the half-court line. He's not going to shoot it. Kelvin Sampson says do not shoot. He'll take the shot clock violation. 6.5 seconds remaining in the game. Tennessee will inbound. Tears streaming down the faces of the Volunteer players. And one more inbound coming, but first, a move off the bench for Tennessee as they will bring Bishop Boswell onto the floor, and Zakai Ziegler will leave for the final time in a Tennessee uniform. Ziegler will go over, bury his head into the right shoulder of his coach, Rick Barnes. Cade Phillips will enter, and Jemai Meshack will leave for the final time. The most wins ever by 4-year Volunteers. Jemai Meshack and Zakai Ziegler, each with 109 wins, and another hug from Rick Barnes to his departing senior, Jemai Meshack.
What a run those guys have had. Both of them in the 4 finalists for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. The mark that they will leave on this Tennessee program, it's next-level stuff, and they'll be better for having those 2 guys in their program.
Tennessee will inbound. They will dribble it out. And H-Town ready to invade the Alamo City. The Houston Cougars, for the 7th time in school history, are headed to the Final Four. A 69-50 win over the Tennessee Volunteers. And the number 1 seed in the Midwest advancing to San Antonio. And a short 3-hour drive awaits to the Final Four next week. And Robbie, this was as dominant a performance as we've seen in the NCAA tournament between 2 really good teams.
Well, to hold a Tennessee team that has such good guards to 15 points in the first half, they play them even in the second. It's 35 all in the second half. Just the defense of Houston, you can't prepare for the physicality. You cannot prepare for the toughness until you see it. How do you get ready for it? You know, and it's one of those deals where Tennessee looked shell-shocked early. They found their way a bit better in the second. But this game was won with a 34-15 advantage in the first half. And how about L.J. Cryer and Emmanuel Sharp? Cryer got it done in the first half. Emmanuel Sharp in the second. Houston, a very deserving Final Four team. And we are gearing up for a monster field in San Antonio.
And right now we have one matchup set already. Duke and Houston will play in the national semifinals on Saturday. And Robbie, I'd like to fast forward to see that game right now. That has so many great storylines. The young head coach taking over for the legend, the veteran head coach in Kelvin Sampson getting Houston back to the Final Four as they look for their very first national championship. What a cool matchup we have for the Final Four. At least that one is set.
No question. And even the game after ours in terms of Michigan State Auburn, either team that wins, more storylines will be apparent. It's going to be an incredible week in San Antonio, but give a lot of credit here in this one in Indianapolis to Kelvin Sampson and the job that his defense did early. It was just a knockout punch of epic proportions to a team that's as experienced and well coached as anybody you'll see. This Tennessee Volunteer program has been knocking on the door in the Elite Eight the last 2 seasons, and they've just run into 2 juggernauts in Purdue last year and Houston this season.
Well, and you know the feeling, unfortunately, all too well that Tennessee is having as they walk off the floor tonight. The seniors who came back after the heartache last year in Detroit, they fell short, and they fall 1 game short of their ultimate goal, the Final Four again this year.
It's one of those things, and we're watching the replays. Jemai Meshack being consoled as he walks off the floor. His college career is over. You know, the euphoria of the tournament wouldn't feel that good if the pain on the other side wasn't what it was. And you know, you never get over these types of losses. You want to be that lucky team that gets to cut the nets down on Monday night, but there's only one team out of 68 that gets to be that. And certainly you hate to see it for those seniors with Tennessee. Unbelievable careers for them. The way that they have set the program up for success in the future under Rick Barnes, they will be forever grateful to that. But it's one of those things. Houston the better team, and they advance to San Antonio.
Let's check some of the stats sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. With TurboTax, Now Taxes is getting an expert who files your taxes for you, so you can stay locked in on the madness. Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. 17 points for Chaz Lanier and Jordan Gainey in a losing effort. The Volunteers shoot 29% from the floor. For Houston, 17 for Cryer, 16 for Sharp, 42% from the floor for Houston in the 69-50 win. And I mentioned L.J. Cryer, and he joins us courtside with brand new gear on, a brand new hat and a brand new shirt. L.J., I know you've been waiting a while to put those clothes on. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. It's been a long time coming for sure.
Kelly Kugler and Robbie Hummel here, L.J. Go ahead, Robbie.
I know, L.J., you've been to a Final Four, but certainly need to go back. What's the feeling like to hear you are going to return to a Final Four?
It's an unbelievable feeling, man. We've been working all summer for this, really. And it couldn't come any faster. So we're blessed to be in this position, and we're going to take full advantage of it.
LJ, tell me about ball handling against that pressure, because over the last 6 games, you have one lonely turnover, including today where you had 0. That's got to be something you work on a lot. How do you improve as a ball handler when you face all kinds of different pressure like you guys do?
I mean, Coach tells us that whenever teams pressure us, be aggressive and go score. So I feel like whenever you play timid, that's when you make those turnovers. So I kind of eliminate my turnovers with being aggressive.
2 games ago against Gonzaga, you tie a career high. Against Purdue, didn't have your offense, but you still made plays for other people. How did you rebound in this one from a tough shooting night 2 nights ago?
You got to have short-term memory. I mean, even the best players like Steph Curry and all those guys have off nights. So I knew I had another opportunity today, and I was going to make full advantage of it.
LJ, go celebrate with your team. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
That's LJ Cryer of Houston as his Cougars defeat Tennessee by the final score of 69-50. When we return, we'll have more of the All-State post-game report. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Lee Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Warning, this is not my average commercial. Today, I'm a thorn in the side of bad timeshare exit companies. Over the years, I've seen way too many exit.
The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Blake steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
dynamite in 6 postseason games. He's been phenomenal leading into this one. 5 points, 5 assists, 1 of 9 from the field. Gainey got it going in the second half, but Tennessee needed those 3 to have big nights collectively, and they just didn't get that. But credit Houston, because they made life tough on them, and they certainly made them work for every open look.
The Midwest Region All-Tournament team, Braden Smith of Purdue, Jordan Gainey of Tennessee, L.J. Cryer, Milos Uzan, and Emmanuel Sharp, who is the most outstanding player of the regional. Emmanuel Sharp, the most outstanding player in the Big 12 tournament.
A lot of those.
He's got a lot of mops, and he gets another one here in Indianapolis as the Houston Cougars will go on to the Final Four, trying for their first ever national championship. And there's a long road to go. This is going to be an incredible Final Four. We've got Florida in, we've got Duke in, we've got Houston in, a trio of number 1 seeds. The last time, as Jason Horowitz mentioned, that we had all 4 top seeds in was 2008, which also happened to be in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. And there's certainly a chance for that as Auburn and Michigan State are coming up a little bit later on from Atlanta. But either way, regardless of what happens in that game, this is a powerhouse Final Four that we're going to have next week.
You think about the proximity to Houston and then the national level that Duke is supported. You get a team that Florida's certainly going back for the first time since the 2000s, that they will be well supported. And then either Auburn or Michigan State. It's going to be terrific crowds, unbelievable basketball. The best teams over the course of this season are going to be there. And certainly Cinderella's a great story, especially in the first weekend, but you want to see the big dogs at the end, and that's what we're going to see in San Antonio.
Well, and this Duke-Houston matchup is already a fascinating one on paper. You saw Duke last night, and Robbie, just listening to that game and that team, what they're able to do is very impressive on both ends of the floor. But if there's a team that can match their defensive prowess, it's this Houston Cougars squad.
No question. And certainly for Duke, if they're shooting the 3 the way that they have in the NCAA tournament, we know how good their defense is. They're going to be a tough out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how does Kelvin Sampson, one of the best scheming coaches in college basketball, scheme to take away everything that Duke can throw at you, particularly with Cooper Flag. I mean, you've got one of the generational players that we've seen over the last 10 or 15 years, and Houston gets a week to prepare for that. That will be fun to watch.
Regional champion in the Midwest is Houston. The final score, 69-50, eliminating Tennessee. More to come. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You'll hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-523-7809. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-523-7809. That's 800-523-7809. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Oh no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Doesn't look like much. 69-50, the Houston Cougars victorious over the Tennessee Volunteers by 19 in this one. They led wire to wire, jumped out to the 4-0 lead, Robbie Hummel, and never looked back. This was as dominant a performance as we've seen in the NCAA tournament from start to finish. Houston had Tennessee's number. Really impressive all the way around.
Well, and we talked about how Cryer kind of got them started, but how about some of the role guys? And Javier Francis with some really big plays on both ends in that first half. Terrence Arsenault broke out of a 1 of 14 stretch from 3 to knock down 2 triples right in front of us on the right wing. But then you let Emmanuel Sharp bring you home. The Houston defense on total display. You just think about Tennessee and the struggles to score, especially with their big 3 in the backcourt, who were so good against Kentucky. And Jordan Gain in the second half got some rhythm. Lanier got some points, but had to take 18 shots to get 17. Just a really total and impressive performance to hold a Tennessee team to 50 points.
17 from Cryer, 16 from Sharp. The only 2 Cougars in double figures. They outscored Tennessee 30-14 in the paint and 19-8 on second chance points. 14 offensive rebounds in this one for the Houston Cougars, and Houston runs away with it with a 19-point win, moving into the Final Four. 1 slot left to fill. That slot being either Auburn or Michigan State coming up in just a little bit from Atlanta. The team still gathered out at half court. They've already received the trophy. The confetti has fallen, and the celebration will continue long into the night for these Houston Cougars. They'll go home, and they'll stay in the state of Texas now for the remainder of their season. That's a nice advantage for Kelvin Sampson and his crew. No time zone change, no state change. Quick trip down for the win, perhaps in the Final Four. And that's a win already just to get that opportunity to stay in state.
When you think about just the drive is so doable for their fans. So I'm sure Houston will have a great contingency. Certainly Duke is known to travel the way that they are. Auburn, Michigan State, both those fan bases will definitely be there. And then the Florida Gators making their first appearance in quite some time.
Well, I'm noticing that we've got a head coach making his way over to join us. And that would be the head coach of the Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson, is putting the headset on right now. Coach Sampson, first off, congratulations. We were talking about it as we watched you walk over here. This was really a total team effort for this group. We saw contributions all across the board from your group in this win.
And I think that's been part of our secret sauce all year. I mean, we're kind of a collective group, you know. Even and where it really shows is the road. There's a lot of teams can win at home, especially if you have good talent. You're going to win your home games, but the road separates a lot of people. Shows our toughness, shows how solid our culture is, and the character of our kids. You know, Robbie, you know this as well as I do. Knuckleheads don't win on the road. Great kids win on the road. Kids that believe in each other. This team has allowed me to coach them the way I want to coach them since June, and there's been no pushback. And I think that says a lot about our staff and our evaluations of these kids we've recruited. And so for us, you know, the way this thing started in November, you know, we go 4-3, and I think since then, my math's not good, but I think 30-1.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Coach, defensively, you guys have done it all season long. It's ingrained in the program's DNA, but you hold Tennessee to 50, and you make those 3 Tennessee guards inefficient. How did you do it?
By focusing on them. You know, we spend the week preparing for Purdue, and we only have one day to prepare for Tennessee. They don't run a lot of ball screen action. They depend on different angles of screens. So when we do our shell drill stuff in October, we don't do it conventionally. We take somebody else's offense and have to guard that. So we guarded pin downs. We guarded staggers, stuff that we don't do. We don't set a lot of pin downs. We don't set a lot of staggers. But we set our shell drill up to guard your offense. And yesterday is one of the things I remind you. Just remember, in October, we spent 2 days guarding pin downs. We did a refresher on how we did it, and that really helped them today.
Coach Sampson, congratulations. I've got a good idea. Why don't you go back to Texas and just kind of stay in Texas for the rest of the season?
Well, you know, 2 years ago, we beat Auburn in Birmingham, and that felt like a road game. The other night, Purdue here, it felt like a road game. And then Tennessee felt like a road game because they've got such a great
You guys were due.
We were due. So
Yes.
now we get to go back to San Antonio. But I'm not sure I wouldn't rather stay on the road. They're pretty good on the road.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Coach. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next week down in San Antonio. That's Kelvin Sampson of Houston as his Cougars defeat Tennessee by the score of 69-50. And as the Cougars have climbed the ladder and advancing to the Final Four, they beat Tennessee by a score of 69-50. As we look to our left, Coach Sampson and his team are climbing the Warner ladder and cutting down the nets. Warner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness and the official ladder of construction professionals everywhere. Conquer new heights with Warner. Final score, Houston 69, Tennessee 50. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AB.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rash? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks so much for hanging out with us today during our SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign for the madness! Joe, please tell everybody in the chat more about our SickKids Hospital campaign.
Hey, Insiders! First and foremost, Mike and Allison want to thank you for being part of this amazing community. With March Madness in full swing, we need your help. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The TSI Bracket Mania campaign is raising money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto through the Final Four. A portion of the proceeds from every single game goes directly to SickKids. Click the pinned link in the chat or to the description to donate. Every bit helps. Can't donate? No problem. Just share the campaign with your friends or on social media to help make a huge impact. Click the link and holy Mackinac, let's help heal the future today.
Athleticism and Michigan State's defense. That's going to be a war. Two great coaches in Bruce Pearl and Tom Izzo. But just keeping it on this game, the Houston Cougars, such a deserving number 1 seed that get to the Final Four out of the Midwest region. Now 34-4 on the season. They go 19-1 in the Big 12. They win the Big 12 tournament. They've won 30 of 31 games. Tough November. They have rallied. Kelvin Sampson's done a phenomenal job. Houston, a very deserving Final Four participant.
Oh, Robbie, I sure hope we get the chance to do some more games together soon. That'd be great.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you will, won't you? All right, this has been the All-State Tournament postgame show on Westwood One. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not based on anyone else. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. The final score in this one, Houston takes the crown in the Midwest Regional, 69-50 over Tennessee. We'd like to thank our crew studio coordinator, Art Martinez, associate producers, Jordan Markovich and Dan Silverman. Our production supervisor is Nick Pope. Engineer, the great Jake Robinson. Our producer, the equally great Drew Casey. Production assistance provided by Kevin Messenger. Coordinating producers, Brian Finkelstein and Aaron Cummins. Executive producer, Mike Hebe. The senior vice president of sports for Cumulus Media and Westwood One is Bruce Gilbert. Today's broadcast of the NCAA tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network has been sponsored by Monster.com, by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by O'Reilly Auto Parts, by Wago, by Wrangler, by Uber Eats, by Warner Ladder, and by NCAA.com. Once again, the final score, Houston 69, Tennessee 50. The Cougars are headed to the Final Four. Now for Robbie Hummel, Jason Horowitz, and Nick Baugh, I'm Kevin Kugler. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to exclusive coverage of the 2025 Men's Basketball Championship on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. So long till next week in San Antonio.
'83, 7 p.m. Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Detroit Pistons. Timberwolves on Sirius 159, XM214, and Internet 897. Pistons on Internet 888.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information from the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton. When Secretariat began preparing for his 2-year-old season back in 1972, his connections were not too thrilled with what they had. He was described more as a clumsy and lazy horse than the dominant thoroughbred he would become. In his first race, he finished 4th, the worst result of his career. After winning an allowance race at Saratoga, he went on to win 5 stakes races with jockey Ron Turcotte. His year was so brilliant, he won the American Horse of the Year. His 3-year-old season, however, would be far more spectacular. It began with 2 straight stakes wins, then a hiccup at the Wood Memorial, placing 3rd heading into the Kentucky Derby. His performance there, though, was record-breaking. He became the first horse to complete the 1.25-mile track at Churchill Downs in under 2 minutes, a feat not repeated until 2001. Much of the same occurred at the Preakness, as he won by 2.5 lengths for his 2nd straight win. Only 4 horses competed at the Belmont, and none would come near to Secretariat that day. He won by 31 lengths in 2:24 flat, the fastest 1.5 miles ever over a dirt track. Secretariat won 4 of his last 6 races in his final win, coming at Woodbine Racetrack in Toronto. In all, he had 16 wins in just 21 starts. Secretariat, one of the best of all time.